Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of Not Cool in High School. Today is a milestone for us. We are on our 100th episode of the show, which is awesome. I still can't believe that we're here. I know for me personally, I was not on the show the full 4 years, but I bounced back and forth. And I still remember us sitting in this space on that round table.
The round.
And then we slowly progressed and got this really awesome sticker table. So it's been an awesome, said it. We're moving into our fourth season with this as our 100th episode, which is great. If this is the first episode you are listening to, welcome. And if you are joining us for the first, or I mean, if you're back, I guess I should say, welcome back. We're always happy to hear from people new or old in our chat, in our comment section. So we're going to start off, I guess, going around and introducing ourselves in case anybody who has not listened to us knows whose voice belongs to what. So my name is Nikolai.
I'm Anthony.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Heidi.
All right. So like normal, we're going to start off with our news. Then we're going to jump into stuff that we, are into, stuff we've been watching, things like that. And then we're going to talk about our big topic tonight, which is the bands that we love and our favorites within that, whether they're just the music groups or the music styles or things like that. All right. So I'm going to start with the news. First piece of news that I found is for those of you who are probably more 90s kids than anything, Butch Hartman announced that there's going to be a live action version of the Fairly Odd Parents TV show.
Oh.
Now, as a cartoon, it is something that is one of Nickelodeon's giant staples. At least if you were a 90s kid, they had several live action films as well. But now to see that there's a live action show going to happen is pretty amazing. And Butch Hartman, this was a couple months ago at this point, kind of like threw out there because I guess a lot of fans were asking when one of his other projects, Danny Phantom, is going to get a live action movie. The fans really feel that it deserves one. And he said, well, the script was actually written for one and it's just kind of sitting in a vault for Nickelodeon. So hopefully that means that if Fairly Odd Parents does super well as a live action show, they might consider making at least the movie for Danny Phantom that has been sitting away. But if that is something of interest to anybody, definitely
that was
reach out to
something
them.
I don't remember much, but I'm a little bit of an older 90s kid.
So
I watched Fairly Odd Parents, but I didn't really watch Danny Phantom.
If you are not familiar with Fairly Odd Parents, because that's really what the news is about, it's about this kid named Timmy Turner.
Okay.
And his parents leave him with this awful babysitter named Vicky.
Icky Vicky.
Yes, Icky Vicky as in the Chip Skylark song. So basically the premise of the show is he gets left with this babysitter who like literally tortures him and makes him do all these like ridiculous things. And the first episode that they did for the pilot, he's in his room with an 8-ball and he shakes it and like he doesn't like the answer he gets, so he throws it at a wall and the magic 8-ball busts in half and this smoke starts coming out the top.
Like a genie in a lamp.
Kind of. And these two fairies shoot out named Cosmo and Wanda, who are his fairy godparents, who are there to grant his every wish. And it's a really fun show overall. And there's a bunch of like random things, like there is a genie that shows up. Santa Claus shows up. You find out like that in this fairy world type place, they go through like fairy boot camp and all this kind of stuff where the head of it is like a drill instructor named Jorgen von Strangle. And honestly, it's a really creative, fun show. Especially
like
growing up, it was really fun.
Well, that one was a little more later in the 90s, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say because my brother watched that more than me. He was only born in 98.
I think the last things I can remember was what was the one with Doug? I can remember that.
Doug.
Was it just Doug? Was it just Doug?
Yeah.
So Doug and the Rugrats and Are You
were
Afraid
my
of the Dark?
favorites.
That kind of thing. I can remember. So
those were.
So yeah, it's definitely a little bit later of it. But since we brought up Danny Phantom is basically his parents are like these well-known but not so great ghost hunters. And they build this device in their basement that is what they intend to be a ghost portal to take them to the other side and this kind of stuff. And it ends up not working. And this is all parts from like the bumper, so it doesn't really spoil anything for anybody who hasn't seen a show that ended, over 10 years ago. But when he goes in, he decides he's going to take a look and stuff, and he puts on one of the jumpsuits. And for some reason, they put the on button on the inside of the device. So when he's like reaching around partially in the dark, he bumps the button and it turns on. and the ghost zone activates and like rips through his DNA, and he becomes half ghost, half kid. So it's basically his journey as not only having to fight these ghosts that are coming out of the portal, but also, changing between the two of them and figuring out all these new powers of his life and different things. It's also a really fun show as well. But what other news we have tonight?
I don't have much, but I do have Scream.
Mhm.
It's coming out, I think, on the 14th. 10 days.
Yeah.
I saw. I'm really excited about that. That's really all I got so far.
Yeah, I don't have
haven't
much
seen much
news.
else coming out lately that I really care
Anthony
about.
has some news.
I have two sets of news. One is for video game fans / rock band fans. 2 new DLC tracks are coming this week. They are from the bands Taking Back Sunday and from the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus. So if you're a fan of like early 2000s to mid 2000s, like emo pop rock type stuff, that it's going to be great this week. And season 25 for Rock Band starts next week, starting on Thursday at 3:00. We don't know what the songs are going to be yet, because on Tuesday they'll make that announcement. But the other news I have is about the vampire movie Morbius. It is delayed yet again.
Yeah, so it was supposed to
Is that
be
the Jared Leto one?
Yep.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like January 25th or something that it was.
Yeah, it was
out.
like towards the
Now
end of
it's
January.
April
Yeah,
or
and
something.
originally it was supposed to be last July.
It was supposed to be July 31st on my birthday.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's like, oh, that would have been
So,
a great way to celebrate my birthday.
it got pushed twice already so far, but like people seem to be super excited about it, so I'm not really sure why they chose
I
January.
was just gonna say, why did we push it? Did
'cause-
they explain?
Well, it had to do with like the virus and stuff originally.
yeah.
So that's why I was like, why did you land this in January? Because I mean, if you don't know, most movies that come out in January, it's usually the graveyard, as it's referred
Yeah.
to. You send the movies there to die. But because it's a Marvel movie and it's one that like the character hasn't really been like explored
Mhm.
in film yet, I was really surprised that they put it in January. But I was like, maybe they want to do the opposite and like be like, oh, well, all these movies suck in January, so maybe by putting it in January, they want to like have one that's really good because they're not going to have really competition in January.
Right.
But then, of course, it got pushed, and it is now when, Anthony?
April 1st, which
Right.
is Nikolai's birthday.
So it went from originally being released on his birthday to my birthday. So hopefully it doesn't get pushed again. Because I mean, I'm really excited to see it. I know Anthony is. And it would have been a nice like in between No Way Home, which came out in November,
Mhm.
having this in January, and then in March having
May.
May.
Yeah, it's May now.
And then having for Doctor Strange, because originally Doctor Strange was supposed to come out in March and then got moved. So having those 3 movies kind of like 2 months in between each of them,
Yeah.
that it was like, it's not like they're like crossing over too much, where it's almost like one movie came out, then it died out a little bit. This one comes out and then dies out a little bit, and then release that.
Yeah.
So maybe that's kind of why they originally were like maybe January, because it's in the middle of the two. But it's cool that now it has left January in this graveyard.
Well,
So-
I hope that that's not true. I hope Scream is
Yeah.
not
mean-
a disappointment.
I also feel like Scream is another one of those ones that I think would have came out way earlier than it did, but because of the virus and everything
Yeah.
getting pushed, that they were like,
I also think
nah.
Scream has a history and a name behind it too that might push
Yeah.
it a little better than just an unknown movie,
Hope so. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hopefully.
So Any-
Okay. Any more news?
no more news.
Actually, there was one thing I just remembered. There's going to be a new Ice Age movie. I'm not sure when that comes out on Disney
yeah.
Plus.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of the cast, I'm pretty sure, is not in it. It's the only
Oh.
person I think that's reprising his role is Simon Pegg from the Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs.
Hmm.
Not
Is
even like Josh Peck is coming back, I don't
That's
think.
weird.
Like to
Yeah.
play the, what is it, like the,
So they having all new
or
characters
something?
then? Or are they
No, it's the same
they're- Yeah, they're
characters.
gonna be the same.
So Ray
They're-
Romano's not going to be the woolly mammoth. Dennis
don't think-
Leary's not going
no.
to be the saber tooth.
And
How
that's-
many
that
are
kinda-
there?
that
I think we
sucks.
talked about
I
this
think
the
it's
other
I
like
think this is
6
like
now.
the 6th
Oh my
coming
God.
out.
Yeah, I only
I
saw
didn't-
like the first 2. I
Yeah,
think.
me
If the
too.
second one, I don't remember.
I mean, I remember seeing the short skits with the squirrel after the
Mhm.
acorn before
Scrat.
some of the scrap before some of the movies.
I
And
mean,
stuff.
Yeah.
They are fun movies and
Yeah.
stuff, but like all movies, hit that peak. Where
Yeah,
it's like, but also
okay,
too, like
we're beating the dead horse a bit.
kind of. I mean, for us anyway, maybe.
Yeah.
But like, it's
kids,
also
little
kind of
kids
like Toy
probably love
Story,
it.
where it's like we want to hit every generation of
Mhm.
things.
Yeah.
So like, I can also see that point of
Yeah.
view too, where they don't want the story to die.
Yeah.
Essentially,
The first one was
But
so good.
it was.
It was
It
good.
was a really good
you
film.
know.
Yeah.
And then that song from Rusted Root, I can't remember the song's name.
I don't remember.
It was like the theme song for the movie. It kind of set the whole tone, I thought.
I feel like the little kids probably still love it.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
They're
And
probably hooked on
I
it
mean, there's definitely got to be a market
somewhere.
for them to have continued to do it. I mean, like even with like Hotel Transylvania 4, like a lot of the cast and stuff are not coming back. Like Adam Sandler is not going to be Dracula in it.
I wonder if his didn't he sign like a contract with Netflix or something? Maybe that has to do with it.
Maybe that has something to do with it.
Yeah.
I am happy though with the guy that they got. I can't remember his last name. His first name's Brian. He's like all over TikTok and like YouTube and stuff. He does all these kind of impressions and stuff. And originally he was like, you know how like when they do like the shorts like with Scrat and stuff,
Yeah.
how it's not always necessarily the big actors that play them. Well, he got to play Dracula in the short that they did for Hotel Transylvania 2 or 3. So they were like, well, you did such a good job at that. Do you just want the role? So now he's still going to be, so now he is the co-star next side of like Selena Gomez and stuff. So for those that are returning and stuff, it's still like a huge push for him. Like as an actor to an actor, it's like that's so awesome that he went from being this like little short character to I am the star version of Dracula.
Yeah.
So now any movie that they make, it'll probably just be him as Dracula, and he does a really good impression of what Adam Sandler put out there. So I don't think it's really going to change anything. So
yeah, I think I only
Yeah.
saw the first 2 of those too. The third one's like they're on
didn't-
vacation.
Yeah,
or
they're on
something.
the cruise,
I
yeah.
didn't see that one.
I didn't
It's
see any
good.
of them.
I did fall asleep during the third.
Oh, you did go
However,
to Cinemark.
I was super tired, and I was at Cinemark in those
Comfy
super
chairs.
comfy chairs that like recline and everything.
Yeah.
So it was like the perfect bed. But I did rewatch it after that, and it was good. So any other news before we move on to?
No,
I
not
can't
that I can
think
think
of
of.
anything.
No.
No.
All right.
I feel like there was something I can't remember now.
Well, I mean, if we always, something comes up,
Go
we can
back.
always.
Backtrack.
So what's everybody been into?
So I went to go see Spider-Man again.
Again?
Again.
Third time?
Yes. So I have seen it 3 times now for the total. I'm giving it 3 of 3 spiders. There's no spoiler intended there. I just give it a spider every time I see it. But wink, wink. I give it 3 out of 3 spiders without saying anything. But otherwise, I watched the Harry Potter special that HBO did.
I heard people were bawling. Like,
So-
Like the reunion thing?
Yeah, it was kind of like a
Okay.
reunion
Because it's like 20
type
years, I
thing.
guess.
Yeah. And it's crazy
I
to
know.
think
I
that
feel old.
it's
Yeah.
been 20 years since the first film has come out.
Yeah.
And I know personally, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. Like at least when it comes to like the movies, I've never
Mhm.
actually read the books. I mean, I read the Cursed Child script, and I'm excited to see if that becomes a movie and stuff as well. But like it was nice to get to see the cast kind of like reconnect with each other and have the sets as like their backdrops and stuff. But I was more so expecting a little bit more of like Disney Plus has this show. I forget exactly what the title of the show is called, but like they go through and each episode they pick like one was like The Nightmare Before Christmas, one was The Muppets, and they
Oh.
go and bring the actors back and like show them like the props and they interact and
Kind
tell
of what they did with
stories.
Friends.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Where I wish they would have did that a little bit
Yeah.
more with the Harry Potter stuff instead of it just being like a backdrop
Mm.
of things. Like it would have been cool to have like Daniel Radcliffe be
Yeah.
given the Harry Potter glasses to put on and be like, these are the glasses that were from this
Mhm.
movie
Yeah.
or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And it was cool to get to like hear their stories of different things. Like in Prisoner of Azkaban, for instance, they're like from the way it sounded, they weren't given the entire version of the script. For the one scene where you find out Sirius Black is actually innocent
Mhm.
and stuff, but somehow Alan Rickman, who plays Snape,
He's passed now, right?
yes, he did pass away in 2016, and they did a nice memorial for the cast members that
Mhm.
had passed
Passed.
within it. But it was so cool to get to hear them talk about him in that particular moment because he, I guess, somehow talked to the writer or whoever it was and found out that like what the ending was going to be. And at one point the director was like, "Why are you acting this way?" And he's like, "You'll find out." Like he's like, and they made a joke. It's like, well, it's an on need to know basis kind of thing. Like the director shouldn't even know that like why he's doing this. And like if you watch the films back, it's almost like now I don't know how much he knew about like the very end of how Harry Potter and stuff was going to go, but like if you rewatch them, I've watched his character after knowing later movies information about him,
Mm.
and it doesn't feel disconnected whatsoever. So he must have known more details than some others to make that happen so fluidly versus like having a scene later on in like the last movie and then you go back and you're like, but that didn't make like did they just throw that in?
Mhm.
Like it didn't feel like they had that information or whatever. But I never questioned him going through, even watching it over and over again. But yeah, it was great to get
We're
to
all
see.
Yeah.
like, was it just the three?
No,
the
so
three main
they did have random, and I say random very loosely, casts. Now I don't know if
I
it
think
was
they
like,
had Haggard there. or,
yes. So
like,
Hagrid was there.
Haggard.
Malfoy and his dad were there. Hermione, Ron, and Harry were there. Voldemort was there.
I think Neville was there too.
Yes, Neville was also there. And some of like the not main, but people that were like kind of higher up that were like part of the kids
Mhm.
were there as well, which I thought was kind of cool that they were introduced. And it was just interesting getting to hear their stories because I didn't realize how many different directors they had throughout those films. I thought for the most part it was like the same kind of crew,
Mhm.
Yeah.
when it really wasn't.
Yeah.
And I guess that's also why the movies change so much and grow so much as they progress. Which I think is great, and I don't feel like any of them are necessarily out of place. Like, because sometimes, like when a director does something,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, that one wasn't so good, and it's like put in the middle somewhere, and
Yeah.
it's like it doesn't match. But I don't know. I never really felt that
Mm.
none of them, disconnected in any way.
I've never seen all of those movies.
Well,
No,
I mean,
I've never
seen
it's
like
okay.
the two or three.
Two,
I
I
think.
think.
What's
Two.
the one where she's the girl, the crying girl? in the
Moaning
bathroom?
Myrtle.
I've
That's
seen
the
that
first one, I
one.
think, right?
Oh, okay.
Mm,
Well,
Chambers.
No,
Secrets.
so that's number
Oh,
2. You meet
that's
her
two.
in Chamber of Secrets.
well, I definitely saw that one. I
In the
don't know if
girls'
I saw the
laboratory.
third one.
I
or
saw the
not.
first and the second one, and then I think that was
Okay.
it.
Maybe a third, but I don't know.
Well, they're very good.
Yeah.
I want.
They
I
are-
want to watch them eventually. I just
Yeah.
haven't done it.
Yeah.
So.
I
I
mean-
was more of Lord of the Rings type thing
Yeah.
for me. So,
See, I watched all of those last year, and
and I know you didn't like them, but that's
I didn't hate them. They're just so
I
long,
said I can
and
say
I
that-
feel like I can't remember.
I can say the same thing for Star Wars. Like I can
Yeah.
sit and watch Star Wars, but I don't love it like I love Lord of the Rings.
See, I'm not
Yeah.
really into the like, what's that considered? Like sci-fi, like
Fantasy.
fantasy. Like
See, I'm a
See,
fantasy
yeah.
nut.
I'm kind of similar, like on the Star Wars aspect of things,
Mhm.
where like I really love the concept.
Yeah.
But the movies
Well,
don't
the
fully
concept-
do it for me.
The concept is the same thing Lord of the Rings and everything is.
Yeah.
It's the hero's journey.
Right.
Joseph Campbell.
Yeah. I mean, I guess what I say, like, I like the essence, I guess, of
Mhm.
it is like because I like the lightsabers, I like the characters and stuff. But there's just something. Maybe it's like I feel like the movies are too long, or like there's
It's
a
just
lot of
not-
like
yeah.
at least with Star Wars, there's a lot of like book material of like
Yeah.
alternate timeline of like different characters, different
Yeah.
planets and stuff that like we don't necessarily get in the movies
Yeah.
fully, where like a hardcore fan who's going to go out there and read the comics, read the books and all that kind of stuff
Mm.
will appreciate it more.
I forgot there were comic books till the
I
other
didn't
day. My
even know
mom
that.
pulled one out that I had.
Like
when
I
was
like
young.
that there's such a fan base for those
Yeah.
types of movies.
Yeah.
Like I
Mhm.
think that's really cool. I have a hard time getting into it.
And
I
most
don't know
of
if
those
it's
fan
because
bases
of the
hate each other.
alternates.
Like not hate
Yeah.
each other, but they like you're either Lord of the Rings or you're Star Wars.
Yeah.
Right.
Or one or the other. And they like what wasn't that in Jay and Silent Bob? One of them
Yeah.
one of them
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
one and the other people
I think it
were
was
another.
Clerks 2, I think, actually.
It was it was Clerks too.
I think I have trouble with the alternate universe. Maybe I just can't.
Yeah. See I
My brain, like it'll just go, and
it's,
then my
it's
head, I'm
easy,
just
it's
like
easier for me to step into that fantasy world with Gandalf and the hobbits and Mordor and the dragon than it
Yeah.
is for me to step into space somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the ones that came out like, what was it in the early 2000s?
Yeah, the
something? Those-
prequels. I saw
watched
one
them,
and
but
thought it was
like
terrible.
I don't love them.
No,
Like,
I didn't love them either.
So
I
speaking
think Harry
of
Potter
them,
I would do better with that.
I have to clarify something. So I talk about cinema games and stuff,
Yeah.
which it ties into the Star Wars thing. I'm not talking like cinematic where they have like cinematic like movie clips within the game. I'm talking about like Star Wars Episode 3, the game,
Mm-hmm.
not like I don't know what the heck's the game for PlayStation? God of War, where it's
Okay.
very cinematic looking. No, I don't want that. I want to watch a movie and then go play the game of that exact
Yeah.
movie.
Mhm.
Because like Star Wars was cool because you got to like the end battle, depending on which way you wanted it to go, there was 2 alternate endings and stuff. So like you got to shape
Mhm.
what it was. Or like the Force Awakens game where you could choose to be good or bad in the Star Wars universe, I thought was really cool because you don't really get a lot of that. It's
Yeah.
more like, at least with the movies, it's more like, oh, we're going to follow the good guy or just follow the bad guy. It's not somebody that's like struggling with the choice between either.
Yeah.
Which is,
I think I played Lego Star Wars. That was
I mean, they're fun too.
Yeah, Lego Star Wars is
I
fun.
think we played that.
There's a new one coming out this year.
Is there?
Yeah, it's going to be the Skywalker saga. So it's going to be everything from episode 1 to 9. I think the DLC for it might be Solo and Rogue One, I think, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay. I do want to say one more thing about this Harry Potter special that I did not know, and it kind of blew me away that it even because it was never really talked about from anyone, which I guess is why no one knew. Emma Watson, who played Hermione, was going to leave.
Wow.
She was not. She was like, I don't know if she just like was in the wrong like headspace after a certain point, but it came super real to her and how like big and famous these movies were and stuff, and she almost backed out and didn't want to do them, and I couldn't imagine those movies without her.
Yeah.
Or have a recast. So it's just
Yeah.
it's crazy to even think that may have been something.
Yeah.
They
But
did like blow up for being like essentially it's like a teen movie, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Kind
I
of.
mean, they're
Yep.
kids, like,
I mean,
and it just kind of went like,
also though, to be fair, like me and my brother, when that first movie came out, we were around their age.
Yeah.
yeah,
roughly.
I was
yeah,
just, that's what I
So
was gonna say to
we
you.
kind of grew up
with
yeah.
as
them
they were growing
growing
up
up.
throughout these movies.
Yeah.
So it sticks to us.
But even like
a bit
our
harder.
age, like people go crazy. For
Sure.
it.
yeah.
Like it's
Oh, yeah.
insane.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean,
Yeah.
for me, it's a little hard. It's a hard because I come from the metaphysical community, and I
Yeah.
do a lot of what you would say magic and Reiki and stuff, and what they kind of go in through, and it's just so different than what it actually is.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. It's not that waving of the wand and there it is. It's, so that's, I think, more. It's hard for me to grasp.
Well, it's funny that you say like the whole like waving the wand thing.
Mhm.
Because Helen, how do you say the rest of her name? Abona Carter?
Bottom Carter,
Bottom-
something.
Bonham Carter?
Tim
Bottom
Burton's
Carter.
old
Yeah,
Yeah,
wife
yeah,
or
yeah.
girlfriend or
Yeah,
whatever
yeah.
their status is.
we all know
who
Who
you're
plays
talking about.
Bellatrix in the movie. I know that name.
Oh, okay.
But at one point, because like
I didn't know she was in it.
they practice these scenes where like they're just waving their wands around and stuff. Nothing happens, right?
Mhm.
Well, they gave her a segment where they're like, listen, we're going to take this cue from you. And there's a scene where one of the buildings bursts into flames and stuff, right? And they did this like as an actual effect.
Mhm.
It wasn't like a CGI thing
Mhm.
that they put in later. And they're like, we're going to take the cue on you so that when you flick your wrist, the whole building's going to blow up.
Ah.
And she said she felt so much power, you know, and so much excitement. And
That has to
after
be a cool
she blows
feeling.
it up, she starts laughing. And I feel like that was just real
Mhm.
because it was like all this time they're just waving wands and
Yeah.
nothing's happening. And then you see this whole thing burst into flames. And it's like, holy cow, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
And I was also too surprised, like on the practical side of things that they talked about, which I didn't realize. In the first, I don't know how long this lasted, but like when you see the Grand Hall, they have candles floating in the sky. Those were real candles, held up by fishing line.
Mhm.
So if they
I've
filmed
seen that on like
for
Pinterest.
Yeah.
too long, the wire would burn,
Yeah.
and you would just have random candles fall
Yeah.
that were on fire. So it's just like it's crazy to think that like because they made the comment too, like it would be CGI if that was shot today.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, I thought it was so cool that like because that's just I always thought it was CGI.
Yeah.
But I was like the fact that it were really there. I mean, other than it being a fire hazard, I think still pretty cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, that is all for me.
So lately, I decided to do something a little bit different, playing some games. I went to now I don't know how familiar people are with Yu-Gi-Oh at all, but I went to play Yu-Gi-Oh Legacy of the Duelist on Xbox.
So what is Yu-Gi-Oh? For those that don't know, Anthony.
It is a dual monsters fighting card game.
So it's a card game, but you
It's
can
like
play on
Magic.
Xbox?
Essentially, so
You can play on Xbox now?
Yeah.
didn't know that.
when
That's
we
cool.
were growing up, it was just a
Just
TV
cards.
show with
Oh.
cards.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I forgot it was a TV.
Where they each monster had an attack and defense number. And I think you were given like in the beginning, at least based on the show, you were given like 2,000 life points. So if a monster destroyed something and it was 200, it would take it off your life points until you got to 0. And then they had like these tournaments and all this kind of stuff. But now they've made them digital and have all these cool games and stuff.
Yeah, with that, like I've been going through like the different challenges. There's one character that's annoying if you get to him, either the story or his challenge. There's 5 cards that will ruin your day if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan. The main card is called Exodia. If you gather all 5 of his pieces, you instantly win the game. And the guy
Yes.
has his deck stacked with drawing cards. So every time he plays like a magic card, he can draw a couple cards from his deck and try to pick the right one that he wants. And it's a pain in the butt. You could lose in one turn.
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
bad it is.
Now, do you play with other people, or is it
Yeah.
like a versus computer kind of thing.
You can play online with people.
Oh, that's cool.
Some people like today's Yu-Gi-Oh stuff. It annoys me so much.
Yeah, I don't fully understand it. Like, they've gone
Yeah.
through so many like rule levels that I'm like, I don't want your like. There's a pendulum that like determines how strong something is now and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, what happened to the good days where it was just like, here's your card, this is what it has. If you want to throw something on to power it up, sure. I don't understand why. Like, you could have somebody who has like puts one card out and then within that one turn has a monster that's unbeatable somehow. Like,
Yeah, or like they'll play a monster down, and it's like, oh, this monster's ability allows me to bring out another monster. Oh, I'm gonna summon something else from this special deck, and then it's like their turn never ends.
yeah, it
It's
takes
like-
a half hour from the end, and then it's like, oh,
Ugh.
Then it's over.
It
Now
makes
I'm
you want to
dead.
quit the game because it's like I don't want to spend 15 minutes and someone's one turn.
Yeah,
of,
I'm
like-
not good at those kind of games.
No. No.
Like those, I don't know what they're called, like strategy, like
Yeah,
card
like
game. I'm just
strategy.
not good at them.
it's all about the heart of the cards.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that was what they said in the show, like that the deck almost knew what you needed.
Mhm.
So, because it's up to fate what you draw,
Yeah.
because it's all shuffled and everything. But I just figured I'd share that because it's Yu-Gi-Oh knowledge that I have that not many people actually care about, but I have it.
Well, it's more than some people. I have none.
I have none either.
No,
That's the
you-
first
yeah.
time I'm ever hearing about it.
Yeah.
So
Like even with the show, there was like some like they
I'm
have.
trying to compare it to Magic the Gathering. The
I
card
don't
game.
even know anything about that.
I tried playing Magic. I couldn't get into it.
No.
But with the show, they each had like some people had these special items that did unique things. One, which
Are you talking about the Millennium items?
yes, the
Okay.
Millennium items, which Nikolai's favorite Pegasus, he has the Millennium Eye.
Yeah.
He basically can see everything he wants to see. So if you're playing against him, the chances are that you'll beat him are like very slim to none
Because he can see what card you're gonna have, what card you're gonna
Mm.
play, and stuff before anything
because
happens.
he's basically reading your mind.
Yeah.
Like
So
saying,
if
like,
someone else has it, you just should quit.
Yeah, kind of. But there's a workaround around it. Like in the show anyway, they did it where like he obviously knew that he could see everything. When it came to Yugi anyway. So he just played blindly. He lifted a card, didn't look at it, played it,
And hope for
and
the
he ended
best.
up winning.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it was all it was off the table for him to know what was gonna hit him or whatever. So I think it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
To that as the solution, I guess.
That's cool that it's like
Yeah.
virtual.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
I
and-
forgot it was a show too.
And in the show, like when you play a card, it's not like they're just sitting at a table.
Yeah.
Like they have these arenas, or like as the show progresses, they have like these things called dual discs that
Mm.
sit on your arm. But when you play a card, the monster's in front of you. And they actually like charge at each other, or like the dragon shoots fire at the other and stuff. Like it's a really immersive thing versus just having the deck of cards.
like
Yeah.
the one was like a labyrinth they did
Oh
for
yeah.
an episode. It was like
Yeah.
2 versus 2, and they had to work their way through a labyrinth in order to get to each other to attack their monsters. So I thought that was pretty neat.
That's
Mm.
cool.
Is there anything else you've been?
Other than that, just playing Fortnite. But that's pretty much it.
I broke Fortnite.
You broke it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
We have calculated that I got a bunch of bonus points before I was supposed to.
Whoops.
But I mean, I can't get them again.
Yeah.
But we
So you
calculated.
just got them early.
Yeah, I got them early. But because you're supposed to do like they have these milestones on there, and there's 350 of them. Well, I'm not done anywhere near what I'm supposed to be to have all 350 done. And my game was having like seizures when we were playing it, and it would just be like you have like 10 new levels, and then I would go back to the menu, and none of them would happen. So I would get credit for it, but not. It was weird. Is that all from you?
Yep, that's it for me.
All right.
I'll go next. I finished The Witcher.
Oh yeah.
It
How's
was
that?
excellent. Chef's kiss. It was absolutely just wonderful. I can't gush over that enough between Jaskir's songs and the creatures in it, and the storyline is just amazing. So I'm really hoping maybe we could do a Witcher podcast,
be
not full
fun.
in high school, and then try and combine the games, the books,
Well, there's
and
games,
there's games, there's a book, and I think the book came first, and the game, and then the TV show.
See, that's what I keep seeing is it's good, but I'm afraid I won't. I don't know if I'll
It's
be able to
fantasy.
get into it.
It's
Yeah.
fantasy.
I
And
want to
it's-
try, but I
It's
don't
it's
know.
very Game of Thrones meets
Okay.
Lord of the Rings.
Well, I saw the first
slash-
season of Game of Thrones.
But do they
Yeah,
explain
it's
things?
hard. Yeah. The
They do
first season
explain
was a little
things.
rough.
It does
Yeah.
explain things, but the first season is kind of a time jump season where they jump between two different timelines, so
Okay.
you have to really follow it. This season, none of that happens. It's really about Geralt and Cersei, her and him being like their relationship and their bonding, and the collision of the spheres again. It seems like so. They're all taken off different books and stuff too, so it's
Oh,
kind of combining, and it's awesome. And Harry Cavill, there is it Harry or Henry?
Henry.
He's excellent. I mean, he's already committed himself to how many seasons they do. He said he's going to ride it out, and I think the rest of the cast said the same thing too.
I'm honestly like, I know I talked about this before, but I'm still surprised how nerdy he is.
Yeah,
Because like he's this like jacked guy. If
Yeah.
you don't know who he is, he played Superman
Yeah.
in Justice League and stuff. And I don't know, I just pictured him as an actor that like may like doing fantasy stuff
Yeah.
or like
But
being
isn't
in those
actually in
roles,
it.
but doesn't necessarily go out and like
Yeah.
paint miniatures and all these little things.
Yeah.
And like go battle little armies against other little armies.
Well, that's how.
which is
What's
cool.
his name?
Joe Manganiello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He played.
Same thing.
Is it Magic or something? Oh, what's
Dungeons
the,
and Dragons.
that one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
D&D.
Yeah.
D&D.
Actually, I knew that. I didn't know if it was real because he shows up on Big Bang.
Mhm.
Oh.
And Will Wheaton has like a celebrity cast of people that come and play D&D with him, and it's like William Shatner, Manganiello.
Mhm.
Who else was there? Kevin Smith.
Was this a show all its own?
What?
Big Bang Theory.
No, whoever.
No,
there's a D&D show.
I
Because
think
there was another one with the girl from Daredevil. and
Okay.
she was also in True Blood. She played Jessica, and she played
Oh, yeah.
Karen
I forgot what her
in
name is.
Daredevil. Yeah, real pretty girl. She
Mhm.
hosted it, I think, and it
Oh.
was
Hmm.
them playing D&D.
I didn't
That's
know
all it
that.
was.
I just know I saw it on his Instagram a few times. He
Yeah.
like in his house.
Yeah.
They were having like Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah.
parties.
That's cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just not. I can't get into it. I feel like it makes me feel dumb because I can't understand. Like I can't process
I
everything.
never
I'm
had any
supposed to
friends
know.
that actually played it, so
No.
I never got to
Yeah.
play it. I always wanted to. I probably would have been pretty good at it because I love all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So
I'm just. I don't know.
I mean, I'd play. I've never done it though.
I've never done
I've
it.
never done it either.
No.
Yeah.
No. And that was really big in what, the 70s, 80s? Because D&D is a
The
big thing
80s, I
with
think, right?
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I'm not caught up on that either.
And we got to get caught up because
Yeah.
that's soon
It's coming soon.
And that would be another good podcast topic.
Yeah.
Stranger Things and the Demogorgon and
Yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
What
so.
else have you watched?
Cobra Kai I finished
Yeah.
also. So, and that was also very good. A little bit slow in the middle, I will say, but it ends on a very good bang. So
That's good.
I didn't watch it
definitely-
yet.
Yeah, it's still good. Still watch it. Awesome. You know,
I've been like holding off because I want to
There's-
just binge the whole thing,
Thing.
and I don't want to get stopped and
That's-
have to like take a
I
break.
was trying. I was really trying to like keep it like one episode a night. And then the other day I wasn't feeling real great, and I just sat down and I watched the last 4 or 5 I had left. I was like, that's it.
I can't do that. Like if it's something that's on TV like every week,
Mhm.
then I
Mhm.
can do that. But if it's all
It's
there,
available to you.
I
If it's
can't.
I know
I can't
that's
be
hard
like,
for me.
okay,
too.
I'm only gonna watch one.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I have to just keep. Oh, what's gonna happen next?
Right.
Especially like
Yeah.
if they leave it at a cliffhanger and you're like,
Yes.
I can't.
Yeah.
Like
Can't not.
that's how Dexter is right now.
Yeah.
But with Dexter, they're a pain because they show you a preview for the next week's episode, and I'm
Yeah.
like, why are you doing this to me?
And now you
Like I
can't
have to
watch
wait a week.
Yeah.
Stop this.
Stop. Turn it off
Yeah.
before the preview.
Yeah.
But I have to watch. I'm not gonna not either.
I know. Like I can't not. And like if Netflix is so quick too. It'll be like, oh, here you go, 5
What
seconds.
Yeah.
happened
Like
now that all of a sudden they're asking, do you want to keep watching? Yes, I want to keep
always
watching. They
does
got
if you
rid of
watch
that for
so
a while,
long,
and
really?
now, yeah, they
oh,
got
during the pandemic,
COVID,
yeah.
I think, yeah. But now that it's back, it's like, don't ask me again, or yes, I'm done, or no, I'm not
You
done.
I
know,
didn't see that yet.
I feel like they should have it,
Mhm,
but it should be like a time zone pop up. Like if it's 3 a.m.
mhm.
and you're still watching stuff, they might be like, do you want to keep watching? Because you might have passed out.
You might
Yeah.
be asleep.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you don't have to go find what episode you were on or
Yeah.
whatever. Like
Yeah.
I could understand doing it in
Yeah.
that.
Or I would
method.
like a toggle switch that I could turn it off, because I'll turn it off.
Sure.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
That would
That's
be
me.
cool.
Just give me a setting that I turn that off because I don't want to be annoyed with it every time.
Yeah.
And here's the problem with me. Those little Amazon Fire TV remotes are like smaller than our phone.
I always lose
And
it.
they get stuck in the couch or the
Mhm.
chair. And I'm like, where's the damn remote?
Right, and then
then
you're trying to like grab it, because then
And
you're
you-
mad that it
you're
stopped.
mad. You're mad it
Yeah.
stopped.
And-
You're mad that the remote's lost. You're
Yeah.
nice and comfy under the blanket and
And
on
you
the
have to
pillow, whatever.
Rip everything
You're
apart.
ripping everything.
That's me.
Aggravates me.
That happens to me every time.
That's my rant. Sorry. Stupid Fire Stick.
I did that earlier actually, or I end up sitting on it somehow, and then I
Yeah.
press
Yeah.
fast forward.
Oh,
I'm like,
that's
no.
that's my dog's move. He'll jump up for snuggles and he jumps up right on it
Right
and
on
like fast forwards. I'm like, no, Max.
So is
So-
there going to be another season?
Yes, it says another season coming
cool.
soon. at
Okay,
the
cool.
end. So
Well, that's good.
That's good.
yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen it, but
You don't watch any?
I have not.
No. Did you watch The Karate Kid? Any of them?
The first one and then the remake I've watched.
Okay, well,
the
the first
re-
one's
the
the
re-
only one you really well.
No, you need
The first two,
you
right?
the three. The three. There's
Well, the
characters
other
from
one-
all three come back.
Okay. I mean,
So-
Really?
I want to watch it.
yeah, yeah. So Silver's in this one. He was in the third one. The
Yeah, I
second
don't
one is one
remember
where
that
they went to Okinawa in the original in the 80s. They went to Okinawa and the girl he was dating comes back in season 2 or
Oh,
season
see, I was thinking Hillary
3.
Swank.
Oh, she was the girl in 3. She didn't come back
Yeah, I
yet.
didn't see her.
No.
Okay.
But the girl from when they went to
Yeah,
Okinawa,
I'll
in
have
the
to
movie,
rewatch the
she
old
comes
ones.
back and the bad guy comes back and the bad guy comes back at this one too, the
Mhm.
one from Okinawa, and I can't remember his name for the life of me.
I feel like I only saw the first one and then the Hillary Swank one and
yeah.
then the Jaden Smith one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Silver comes back. So Terry Silver was like the main antagonist in the
Mhm.
third one. So it was quick or not quick. John Kreese and Terry
Mm.
Silver.
Yeah.
And then you kind of see the background of how they kind of got together because they were both in Vietnam with each other. That was this
Yeah.
past season that went, not this one, but the one previous, the third
Mhm.
season. You kind of see where their connection came from and how Kreese kind of saved Silver in Vietnam
Okay.
and how Kreese kind of got to be so cold-hearted.
yeah.
you
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. And
Yeah.
I do like if you've watched the old movies, so you know the characters. I like that they
Yes,
keep
I
bringing
love
that
that.
back.
Sure.
Like it's cool, and
Even
even they're
the-
all like
even-
the same
yeah,
actors,
even
too,
down
which
to
is
the
cool.
mom in the original one.
Yeah.
Daniel LaRusso's mom is the
Mhm.
same,
I do like that a lot because some people most people I've heard that watch it like it, but there's like those couple people who are like, no, it's dumb. Blah, blah, blah.
There's
But
always
like,
going to be a few.
I do like that they
Overall,
stick with
it's very
like,
good,
the
yeah.
movies, and,
Right.
and it's not like a remake. It's like a later
Just
in
a
life.
continuation. Yeah.
Yeah, which is
It's the
cool.
continuation.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know?
I think it's cool.
It's like the same actors. I think like
Yeah.
everyone that comes
Yep.
back, it's
Yeah.
all the same,
It's all the same. They don't sub any actors out or they don't bring them in.
which I
That's
think is
awesome.
really cool.
Yes.
I will say though, there's probably going to be a show that I just watch when it's over.
Yeah.
yeah.
Because like
sounds tough.
they're like right now, I feel like because what they're on 4. It's 4.
Four.
This is
It's
4.
too deep right now because
Too
there's
deep.
movies and then the shows.
Mhm.
I'm like, yes, I probably could find time to like
Yeah.
binge through it because I did it with Dexter. But that's another thing. Like I never watched Dexter when it was on,
Yeah.
and then I did it in a month. I
Yeah.
watched all 9 seasons or whatever it was. And it
I have
was
a
a great
bad
time.
habit of not finishing things. Like I didn't finish
Yeah.
that. I never saw the end of True Blood. Once upon a time, I stopped halfway through. There was something else that I just didn't watch the last season or a few episodes, and I don't
Yeah.
know why. Breaking Bad. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just stopped and I never finished the last few
Just give up.
episodes.
Well, True Blood, you didn't miss anything.
That's what I've heard. So, and I
Yeah.
think that's why I didn't
Yeah. And
really
then
care.
Dexter wasn't the best either.
Yeah.
The ending.
It was a fantastic ending.
Well,
So
you didn't have to
right.
wait for it.
So yes, I
Yeah.
always preface when I say that when I didn't wait 9 years or 10 years or whatever it was.
I
Yeah.
didn't even realize it was on that long.
I watched
Oh
it in a
yeah,
binge.
some of the first season there, you look at it as like, wow, this is very dated
Yeah.
at times, just like watching Sex and the City over, or
yeah, I can't.
you
go
know,
back.
what's the other one, The Sopranos, which I never watched The
I
Sopranos.
started it, but I haven't gotten very far.
Yeah, I tried watching The Sopranos when I had HBO, and I was like, oh, this is just too dated. Now I can't go back. And what was the other one? Dead Like Me, or it was Michael C. Hall as the funeral director. He
I
was
don't know.
Um,
I've only seen
Hmm.
him in 2 roles. Well, actually, speaking of him, side note, he's going to be at Monster Mania in March. That
Saw
was a
that.
big announcement, which is fantastic. But anyway, I've only seen him in Dexter, and he was in that movie where they do game night. he's one of the bad guys that
Oh, yeah,
show up
yeah, yeah.
in the plane. That's the only things I've ever
Yeah.
actually seen him in. I mean, I liked him.
That
in
was
both,
a funny movie.
but
Game Night.
yeah, it was a really good movie. Definitely one I feel like gets less credit.
That one, that
than-
one and Tag. I liked
Yeah,
Tag.
yeah,
It
Tag was great.
Tagged was
Oh,
good,
that was. I think I
Yeah.
did see that one. That was good.
and that was like a real life story. This endless
Yeah.
game of tag with these
Mhm.
old
I think it's pretty
guys.
funny.
Yeah.
It's awesome. They're running around the hospital.
And I like too that they at the end of that movie that they
Yeah.
showed a picture of them.
Yeah,
You know,
I
and
like
stuff
when
because
they
like
do that.
a lot of based on stuff they don't really like. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, it was based on, but it was just that nice extra piece.
Yeah.
to be
Yeah.
Like these are the people that
I feel like a
inspired
lot of
this.
times they dramatize it too much, so
Sure.
then they don't want to be like. But
Maybe.
I like when it's based on something real. It makes me want
Yeah.
to watch it more.
Yeah.
And that in particular is like so goofy, but yet like it can't be a real thing. And then you find out, no, it was a real.
It was a real game of tag.
Yeah.
It never ended.
It's cool.
And
And then they showed some clips of them actually, like somebody, I guess,
Yeah.
the real life people were playing it, like hidden in a chicken suit. Or
Yeah.
something. Tags is funny. They took it that far. I'm sorry. I think that's funny.
It is funny. Yeah.
have you watched anything else? Or
No.
read or been into anything?
Nope.
Okay, my turn, I guess. So I started Good Girls, and then I couldn't stop. And then realized that there's only 3 seasons on Netflix, but there's another season.
Where's that at?
I don't know.
NBC. I think it was an NBC
So,
show.
I haven't looked on Hulu yet to see if it's on there. I don't know.
I should check
Mm.
Peacock.
But
if it's
Yeah, I was
on
gonna
there.
Oh,
say
yeah,
if it's
I
NBC,
should
it's
check
most
it
likely
out.
Peacock. but
'Cause I
yeah.
binged. I couldn't stop watching it. It was so good. And then I was
Yeah.
like,
That's one
it's
of
not
those.
done. But I
at-
know there's more because I've seen like clips and previews,
Sure.
and I'm like,
That
this
was
didn't
one of
happen
those-
yet.
One of those at 3 a.m. when I lost the remote and it says, "Are you still watching?" I'm like,
I was
"Yes, where's the
watching,
remote?"
yeah, like they had whatever New Year's Eve or something. I was at 4 a.m. watching it. I couldn't stop, and then I was like, oh, I better go to sleep.
Yeah.
It's so good, and
they are so badass. I mean, in the end, they really become strong and
Yeah.
independent. You know?
like part of me wonders if it was based on something true, but I don't know. It's
I
kind of
don't know.
crazy, so probably not.
when she starts printing the money, it's just hilarious.
So
Like, she
crazy.
starts going crazy.
I don't know. Matthew Lillard's in it. You would probably like it.
Oh,
Mhm.
maybe I'll have to
He
watch
plays
it.
the douchebag husband.
Yeah,
He's
douchebag
a fun
Dean.
guy.
Douchebag Dean. Yeah, he's not good. But anyway, I watched that, and now I got to try and find season 4 so I can finish it because I'm real upset and I want to see what happens.
Yeah.
Today I watched Miss Bala,
What's that?
which is Gina Rodriguez. I love her. Everything she's in that I've seen so far is good. She's like she gets like mixed up in like Mexican crime somehow. Like her friend gets kidnapped and she gets like the DEA nabs her and they try to get her to like rat on this guy who also kidnapped her. And then she just gets like basically left on her own. The DEA is like, well, you're on your own now. We don't know what to do. Like you're just bye. And she ends up like kicking ass and killing everybody, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And last night I started watching That's My Jam.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Jimmy
Okay.
Fallon's new show.
Oh.
There's only 2 seasons. It's like a game
Okay.
show, but it's all like celebrities,
Okay.
which I think is pretty cool. And they all come on and do like they sing or whatever. It's like
Yeah.
you know how like on his TV show they do like the
Yeah.
karaoke or
Yeah.
Mhm.
it's all kinds of stuff like that,
Oh, that's
which
cool.
is pretty cool. I think it's pretty
And
cool.
what's that on? Is that NBC?
It might
It-
be.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
should be.
I think
Jimmy
so.
Fallon.
Yeah,
I'll have
if
to
it's
check
Jimmy
that
Fallon.
out too.
I didn't know
That's
it was
funny.
an actual show. I saw like a poster for it where he has the guitar and stuff, and like it was a full display of it.
Yeah.
But I just thought it was like a promo for like the Tonight Show.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I saw the previews for it was like Kelly Clarkson, all the people from The Voice, like
Yeah.
Ariana Grande. No, I thought it was from
Oh,
his show, like
wait.
the other show.
So is this show when they're in the booth?
yeah,
Like that?
Yeah,
clip
and
that's
they get
from them?
sprayed. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that was
That's
pretty
cool.
cool too because they did all the 4 hosts from the Voice.
Yeah.
Which was pretty cool. And I'm not a fan of Blake Shelton.
No.
He is just like a dud. I feel really bad saying that, but compared to everyone else, he's just like, why are we here? Like he's
Yeah.
just so bad.
No, I'm not a fan either.
Well, him with Jimmy Fallon, like they have like a history of like going back and forth. So
Okay, yeah.
he might be doing it on purpose a little
Maybe,
bit.
yeah, because he's like, this is the worst like show or whatever.
Because
like-
it's like Matt Damon and Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh,
They
okay,
always have a
okay.
thing.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
I don't know if that's real or not, but if you're watching Jimmy or Matt, feud on if you want. I don't support you both.
yeah, but it's pretty good. Like that was the first episode, and I think it was cool. I don't know. And then the second episode was because I didn't know. I thought it was just gonna be like music people.
Yeah.
But it's not. Like the second episode was Joseph Gordon-Levitt
Oh,
and Chance the Rapper, and then Alessia Cara and Josh Groban.
okay.
So it was just funny. Like it's
Yeah.
funny to see them like not knowing
Well,
things.
Jimmy's
or
always
stuff
funny,
they
too.
know. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I
That's
just
cool.
like seeing, I don't know, celebrities being like
Normal.
normal.
Yeah.
Like sometimes you can't tell if they're
Yeah.
because they're just like so like proper, but
Yeah.
they're just
No.
being goofy and being weird, and
I
it's
get that.
funny.
Yeah. I mean, like I didn't watch a whole lot of it, but the
Carpool karaoke.
yes, that.
I like that too.
Yeah. It's just fun.
And then
to
I
see
found
them.
out they're not really driving because I'm dumb and I thought they were.
I mean, to be fair, I didn't really like be
I
like,
didn't know
oh,
it
they're
either.
not driving.
I thought they were driving, and
Yeah.
then someone told me they were not.
I don't see
driving.
why they couldn't. They're just having a conversation
Yeah.
Just saying.
with a thing there.
I like
Uh,
that show though.
Yeah.
I don't know. I heard he got into trouble or something. I don't know.
Oh,
People
okay.
don't like him.
Who?
James Corden.
Oh,
James
yeah.
Corden.
Well, I've seen ones. Now I don't know if it's through Apple because they had their own.
They stopped
version?
putting him on like TV or something, weren't they? Not on,
Well, he
were they
wasn't
on
in it.
TV? Oh,
It was just like the celebrities. Like
Mhm.
the one that I saw was Ariana Grande and what the heck is his name? I can't think of his name. Family Guy.
Seth MacFarlane.
Seth MacFarlane.
Oh,
Yeah.
I saw that one.
And they were just in the car, like
Yeah.
driving, and
That's
doing their
weird.
thing.
Yeah, I like them, but then they changed. Was it that one and Lip Sync Battle was really good, but then they put it all on like Apple, so I can't
Yeah.
watch it now.
No.
It's funny because they gave me because when I bought my phone, they gave me a year
For
subscription
Apple. Yep.
for the Apple TV and stuff.
Yeah,
And I was like, "There's nothing on here." Like
No.
I want to watch,
Yeah.
but there's nothing. And then they came out with a show, which I'm pissed that it came out after, with Paul Rudd and Will Ferrell,
Mhm.
where it's like they're Paul Rudd, I think, is the psychiatrist dealing with
Oh.
Will Ferrell and stuff. And it just
Okay.
seems like it's a really fun
Yeah.
show. I don't know too
Mhm.
much about it, but just like from,
That's a
like,
good
the
combination
clips.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I was like, why does that have to be like? Why can't that just be everywhere? Like, so
Yeah.
hopefully that comes out at least as a disc.
Yeah.
At some point down the line.
I feel like everything's crossing over, like all the different platforms. Because before
Somewhat,
everyone
yeah.
kept telling me about that Yellowstone show,
Yeah.
I
Mm.
was like, I can't watch it on Hulu.
Yeah.
But now that Paramount channel is on Hulu,
Yeah.
so I don't know if I can like search it and watch it.
You probably
I didn't try.
can, yeah.
but
Or if you
I
have
don't know if I
Peacock,
want
it's
to,
on
but
Peacock. So,
yeah.
and that's I don't know why or how Paramount transfers over to Peacock, but it does.
It's all confusing to me.
Yeah. Well, look at Cobra Kai there. That was 2 years, 2 seasons on YouTube. And
Oh, really?
That was
Yeah,
Red.
YouTube.
YouTube
Yeah.
Red. So you
Yeah.
got 2 free episodes, and then you had to pay for the subscription to see it, which I did because I was nutty and I love the show.
Yeah. But also
watched it on
too,
Netflix.
like YouTube Red was before almost these major like
Yeah,
subscriptions.
Yeah.
Like now it seems like there's a subscription for everything.
Right.
Everyone's
Yeah.
hopping on that train.
Well, and
right
half
now.
of them keep overlapping. Like they took The Office off of Hulu
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and sent it to Peacock, but now it's going to Freeform, which is on Hulu. So like it's still on TV. Like we have Hulu Live,
that
and I
was
can
like
watch The Office.
they took
Right.
Friends off of Netflix.
Yeah.
They took The Office off of Netflix. They
Yeah.
took
Oh
something.
yeah,
They
they
took
took it
Power
off
Rangers off of
Netflix. That's what I
Netflix.
meant. Yeah,
So-
really.
Yeah, they had like every season on there, and they left a couple of the ones that they worked with Nickelodeon with, and I
Yeah.
think they left some of Mighty Morphin on there. And now, like a lot of the episodes now, you can watch on YouTube through the actual Power Rangers channel,
That's
which
so
is actually
weird.
pretty nice.
I honestly think part of it has to do with like who owns the rights.
Yeah.
Like for instance, like with the Power Ranger side of things, or the only reason I bring up Power Rangers particularly is because when Shadow Factory buys stuff, that's usually when the rights kind of disappear
Mm.
from other things. Because they've done like releases of like Mad Max and stuff on Blu-ray, like the original ones and stuff, where no other company could then release it. So I wonder if it falls under something like that, where like let's say Shout Factory buys Power Rangers rights and it lapses, but they were the ones that said, "Oh, it can be on Netflix."
Mhm.
That when that lapses on there, they have to get rid of it
Yeah.
for whoever has it next, until
Yeah.
that's decided, or maybe something
Till that
special is
license
coming
up, right?
where someone bought of the license for Friends or whatever and decided, like HBO probably said, all right, we're going to buy the license because their license is up at this date. We're not going to let them renew it. We're going to go talk to
Mhm.
Warner Brothers and stuff and get that from them instead.
Mhm.
Which probably was to their benefit since they got like the Harry Potter franchise and all that
Yeah.
stuff and did all these special stuff.
I know they were all like there, and I should have just watched them. And now they're like, I don't know where
What
they
the
are.
Harry Potters?
I thought they were on there before.
Well,
but I
listen,
don't
they're
know if
all
they
on
are.
Voodoo, so it's fine. Of course, they're all on Voodoo.
Oh, I watched Wrong Turn. I don't
Yeah.
think we talked about that. I think I watched it after
Oh,
last.
And how
okay.
many wrong turns is this now?
6?
6.
Oh wow.
But this one's not really the same.
No.
No. Like it was good, but as like a huge fan of the original,
Mhm.
it was a little disappointing because it's not the same
Yeah.
at all.
Okay.
Like it's different. But as like its own movie, it's really good
Mhm.
because I like it. Like it's a good movie, but it's
Yeah.
just not what I expected.
Right. It's not within the franchise, really.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
Like it's people get lost in the woods, but they're not cannibals.
Okay.
So
Hmm.
that's
Well, the first one, they
yeah,
were.
like the right. So
They
like
were,
it
and
throws it off.
they were inbreds, right?
Right.
It wasn't scary enough.
It's yeah, and now it's just like I don't know, like their own little village. They've
Okay.
just kept this village, but like eventually you're going to be inbred if you've only got
Mhm.
12 founding members, and they're
Maybe.
eventually you're going to inbreed like after 100 years,
Unless you
right?
kidnap
Like,
people.
well, they do
Not
that,
even
but-
after
Or-
100
no, I
years.
mean like no, I'm saying like you just kidnap random people
yeah,
and then they have your children.
But you got to
That's
make
true.
sure they get Stockholm syndrome, you know?
yeah.
Yeah, not necessarily.
Well, they were like killing people.
Yeah,
but they're
I
not
mean-
eating them, which like they literally were just burning bodies, and I was like, you're supposed to be cannibals. Like
Yeah.
that's the whole point.
Yeah.
See, I haven't seen any of them.
Yeah. They're
So
good. I mean, the first one's
I-
the best. It's on
Yeah,
my
the
like
first one is the
favorites.
best. The
one of
first
my
one
favorites.
has the original guy from Dexter too.
Oh yeah.
What's her name's boyfriend?
I can't remember. It was so long ago.
No, I can't.
Eliza Dushku, and I can't remember what his name is.
With Dexter's sister's boyfriend in it.
Which
Even at
one?
the end.
In
At
the
the
begin-
end.
Oh, is
The,
it the end or
the
the
other
beginning?
detective. The other
Yeah.
detective. The
He's
long,
like-
lanky detective that also had the stripper girlfriend.
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah.
don't remember what his name is, but he's also gonna be at Monster Mania.
Okay.
Oh.
And he played in
Oh.
Ghost Ship too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah. I do
Jeremy
know who you're talking about,
Sisto?
though.
Yes,
Is that him?
Jeremy. That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
No, wait, that's not him. That's the
No?
other guy.
I do want to see the run.
Desmond Harrington.
Okay.
Okay.
It's good. I mean, it's a good movie on its own, but if you go into it expecting it to be like the others, it's not.
Mm.
It's not the same.
No, I mean I get that.
yeah.
I mean,
but it was good. I didn't hate it.
well, that's good.
So
I
You wanna
waited a
get-
while to watch it, but yeah.
should we get into our topic now here?
Yes.
Sure, why not?
Sure. You want to lead us off, Nikolai?
Sure. So how do we want to do this? Do we want to go around and just do one at a time and then just loop around?
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
do
we
that
could
one.
do
at
We
a
Yeah,
doing
that
time.
sounds
top
good.
5 or top 3?
We'll do 3 and then see if there's any more time for 5.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so this is our favorite. Can we just say musician, music artist, band, group,
Oh well, that
whatever?
changes things.
Well, see, I don't
See, I
know.
thought it was bands that we were
Oh,
doing.
I
Yeah, I
thought
thought
we
it was
were
bands,
just
too.
doing- Okay, well,
so that
I
might
don't
change
really
some
have
things.
favorite bands.
Well, I'm gonna start off.
I think I just lump them all together. That's
Yeah.
what I
Yeah,
did.
that's what I did. I
Yeah.
just kind of lumped everyone together.
I'm gonna say Celtic Thunder first. They're not necessarily a band.
Don't they play
They're-
instruments?
They're no. Well,
Oh.
okay. So
Well, boy
sometimes they have-
bands
no,
are bands,
No.
but they're not.
All right, they're not a boy
bands.
band.
No.
So no, they're not a boy band in
They're a
any
singing
fashion.
group.
But technically,
So-
but I'm saying boy
yes,
bands are
sure.
bands, but
Right.
they're not.
In
most
case
of them
of
don't
Celtic
play.
Thunder, they have a band behind them.
Mhm.
Okay.
I consider them more as individual singers that occasionally sing together.
Oh, so do they all have their own?
Yes, they all
Okay.
have their own individual songs that they come out and do, but
They have some songs that
they
do
have
together.
songs like group songs. Like the
Yeah.
opening song for the show, they do as together, and then 4 of them leave.
What
and
do
then
they
one
do? Do they
stays.
do like old Irish drinking songs? And
They
and
kind of do all over the place.
you know,
it
if they do like
originally-
the parting glass and whiskey in a jar.
They do
and-
whiskey in a jar.
Parting
Not
glass?
so much
No?
anymore. That one, no.
I don't know what those are.
They kind of like bounce around though between stuff like
The
they've
Wild
done.
Rover, yeah.
Yeah, they've done that one
Wild
before.
Rover is one of my favorites.
But like the big concept behind them was, which maybe this is why I like them so much,
Mm-hmm.
was they were going to. They all came from Ireland, Scotland type realm,
Mm-hmm.
and they would come across America and do these tours. Well, they were influenced by like the Broadway stuff
Mhm.
and thought this would be a perfect way to bring the Broadway life across the country to people who obviously like live in the middle of the country who are nowhere near Broadway,
Broadway.
or like the LA side theater side of things. So I thought that was always cool. And they actually did one show that they only did like the taping of, where it was like a legit play, where it was like a musical type play. And the audience, or they may not have liked it as much. They felt very disconnected from it. And
Mm.
personally, I was very disappointed that I didn't get to see it live. Not because it was only done once,
Mhm.
but just because it was cool. Like to actually get to see them dive one step further into like a character versus we're gonna come out and we're gonna sing some songs and do
Mhm.
that. But that is my first pick.
Okay.
So my first pick is going to be Ice Nine Kills. They are
Never heard of them.
Oh, so
They're a newer band.
so there are a
okay.
fantastic
I thought you were gonna
band.
say Nickelback at first.
And I'm sorry to cut you off, but I have to do this, and he'll understand why in a second. Their best song ever is called Jason's Mom.
I
It's a
hate you
spoof
so
of
much.
Stacy's mom.
Oh god.
It's fantastic. Anyway, continue.
So basically, what the last two albums that they've done is take an inspiration from different horror movies or video games
Oh.
or even like TV shows, and they put them into song form.
They have a Scream one.
Yeah, which was
And they're
only available in the
like
deluxe
a really
edition.
hard rock, right?
Kind of.
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
'Cause
But
I-
they also do like acoustic versions too.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
it's,
Ice 9 Kills.
Ice Nine
Yeah.
Kills.
I'll
Yeah.
have
They-
to check it out.
Like one of the shows they did was an all acoustic set at the I can't think of the hotel, but it was from The Shining. They actually
the
got to do-
Stanley.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's what
They got
the
to
hotel
sit-
was.
and actually do an acoustic show. Like I don't know if it was like 5 songs or something like that, but it was like a pretty cool show to see like stuff in there. Like I didn't get to see it, but like they put it like a YouTube video out of them doing one of the songs. I thought, that's a good way to say that you've made it. Like that
Yeah.
you wanted to do this show in a specific spot, and you got one of the most like horrifying locations to be in to do it.
That's pretty cool. This sounds cool.
My first one is going to be Stone Temple Pilots.
Okay.
From the
Everybody picked
90s.
bands. I don't
Yeah.
know
So that was
any
one.
bands.
And I will say, this was one I heard when I was little. Like on T102, they play Interstate Love Song.
Mm.
And then I heard Plush, and I heard Big Empty from The Crow. That was on the soundtrack for The Crow. I just loved his voice. Scott Weiland's voice really
Yeah.
got me.
I don't know if I even know like any of their
Oh, you would.
I feel like
if
I
you
would
would
to hear it,
you
but-
would to hear it. Yeah. Very deep voice. Very different, I think. And I don't know. I really like them. So that was one I could swap out between Stone Temple Pilots and Guns N' Roses, but I like Stone Temple Pilots more. So like whenever one of their songs comes on the radio on XM, I never flip to the next song. See, I'm a terrible flipper too. Like I will flip through my presets until
Yeah.
I find something I like.
Oh no.
I'm not a Spotify list. Like I don't plug it in and just listen to Spotify. I have
Oh,
my
that's
Sirius
Spotify.
XM. So that's because to me, that's the best place to find new artists on Alt Nation. So
Okay.
new music I like.
Yeah. Okay, well, if we're picking bands now,
It doesn't have
I
to
don't
be.
It doesn't have to.
No, it
be.
doesn't
No,
have
it
to be.
No.
It just may change some of my answers.
Well, I'll try and pick a band for the first round. I don't know. I guess I don't know. I would probably have to say like Fall Out Boy.
Okay,
The
that's a
only
good
ones that I
pick.
really
That's a good
listened
one.
to, like, and we saw them in concert and they were really good.
Which one was that?
With
That wasn't the
Weezer
one-
and Green
okay.
Day.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say that was
Yeah, the
big,
Hella Mega
like-
Tour.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I was trying to find that shirt tonight and I couldn't find it.
Yeah. I seen them too a couple like when they first came back from their hiatus.
Yeah.
When the album Save Rock and Roll came out and they were excellent. I
Yeah.
love them.
I remember like in high school I wasn't really into like the punk like or rock
No.
or anything,
Yeah.
but that I liked them. Like
Yeah.
I would listen to
Yeah.
them all the
Mm.
time, but
That's awesome.
threw me for a loop
Yeah.
today.
Yeah. So next on my list is Daughtry, which
Excellent band.
I mean I would agree with that. But they're not necessarily everybody's favorite either.
Mhm. He
But
was my pick to win American Idol
yeah,
at the time.
so he was also mine as well.
Mhm.
But I really like him. Well, one part of why he's on my list is he's the only band I've really ever seen more than once.
Oh.
Like I don't count Celtic Thunder in that because I've seen Celtic Thunder for like over 10 years. I don't miss a tour.
Oh, wow.
And the guys know me and stuff.
Mhm.
Like Damian McGinty, who's a part of the group, joined Glee and stuff. So I'm one of his admins for History Team
Mhm.
and all that kind of stuff. So we have a pretty close,
Your
connection.
relationship.
But I've never met Daughtry or anything. That's definitely been like a goal of mine. But he did like, which I think is really awesome. For the last CD release, he only did it for like the first, I don't know how many, but if you bought the CD, he sent you a full size poster that he signed.
Oh, that's cool.
And you didn't pay any extra.
Yeah.
It was like you paid like the $15 for the CD,
Yeah.
and then you got the poster signed. I was like, that's awesome.
Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That somebody's willing to do that.
Yeah.
And anytime it comes through the area, I'll go see him. And like
Yeah.
I joke with Brian and my brother and stuff because they went on tour with Nickelback, and I was like, and it was at Hershey. I was like, listen, guys, Daughtry's opening for them. I'll go see Daughtry, and then I'll go hang out in the park. Like it's fine. Now, but on the same
They were
token,
not that bad.
no. So I say this jokingly. I did enjoy like as a live show. Nickelback
Yeah.
does put
Yeah.
on such a great show.
They were
Oh.
good the first time I saw them. Then the second time was like, oh, I already kind of saw this.
I mean,
Yeah.
sure. I've only seen them once, so I
Mhm.
can't really join in on
Well,
that.
before COVID, they were going to do the For All the Right Reasons anniversary tour, and they
Mm.
were going to
Okay.
just play that album in its entirety. And I would have went for that because that's my favorite Nickelback
Yeah,
album.
that's awesome.
So
I listened to Daughtry like when he first came out,
Mhm.
and I thought he was good. But then I haven't really heard much of him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, so this is a bit of a story time, because I think it was the first. Was this the first concert? I'm assuming you know what story.
I think I know,
gonna
like, that
go
we
with.
went to.
Yeah,
The first one we
the
went to.
incident.
Yeah, the
We'll
incident.
refer to it as. That was the first one. I know
Yeah,
it was at Hershey.
Yes, it was for the Leave This Town tour, I believe.
Yeah. All right. So the show was wrapping up. It was a great show. And it was like I want to say it was like the first time I went to go see a band other than Hanson, which I won tickets to when I was younger.
Nice.
Don't judge me on that. Listen,
I like Hanson.
I got a cardboard cut out of them in my prop room and stuff. It's fine. But so the show's wrapping up, right? And you know how like during the show they throw picks out and that kind of stuff, like just a show in general. Well, the drummer came out and decided he's going to throw sticks out into
Did you
the
like
crowd.
fire them at people?
No, I mean, it wasn't
That's
anything
awesome.
necessarily dangerous,
No. Yeah.
but I caught one, right? And I had my hands on it, right? I did
Somebody
get
else-
attacked.
somebody
I
else
got
pulled it-
attacked by
pulled
the
it out of
two
your hand.
girls. All right, so my hand was in the middle. I had it. I'd never been to a show where somebody threw it out. Like I would have assumed that you have it. End of story. No, the two girls in the row behind me decided they were going to grab both ends of the stick because I was in the middle and yank at the same time, and I lost it. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Especially because did it actually hit you or did it almost hit you in the head?
No, it hit me in the head.
Yeah. And we were like, well, we got it. We got the stick that hit him in the head and then it was swiped. So if you are out there and you stole that stick from me,
we're coming for you.
I'm coming for you.
That happened to me kind of too at a hockey game up in Wilkes-Barre, Scranton. I went with a girlfriend. Hey, Nick. We went to a hockey game. We were right ice level and we were at the warm-ups where Wilkes-Barre, Scranton warms up. And we were sitting there talking hockey, me and her. And the next thing I know, I have a hockey player coming over to me, pointing to the top part of the glass. I'm like, one, it's a Penguins player. So I'm like, what does a douchebag want? Like automatic douchebag because you're a Penguins player. And he's pointing up and here it was a puck. Came down, hit me in the chest, fell on the floor. And before I could go to pick it up, I had these two little kid Penguin fans, like little rats going for it. It was like... Oh my God.
At least he didn't hit you in the face.
And of course, no usher came to see if I was okay. So,
of course not.
No, not in Wilkes-Barre. Screw you, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton.
I don't think I've ever been close enough to get anything.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Weren't you, or were we not at the hockey game in the front row those times for like Batman night and
we
stuff?
were, but
I was
we
gonna say,
didn't get anything.
No, but I'm just saying, like, we were definitely close enough that it could have.
I meant like concerts. I was never that close, I don't think.
Okay. I don't know where to go with that. Okay. No, it's fine.
Okay, next. Oh, it's my. It's your turn.
Is it Anthony's turn?
Anthony's turn.
I don't know
Sorry,
where we left off.
Anthony's
Sorry.
turn. We went down the road.
My next pick, I know everyone's gonna love this. Nickelback.
They're not. So, no, I'm just kidding. Fine.
Okay.
With the tour that we went on, one of my favorite parts was the encore song they decided to play because they asked people, since we have time, would you like us to play this song or this? And they played Hero from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Huh?
And I was like, this is like one of the greatest concert moments that I've ever had. Like, real, like they gave people the choice. They're like, okay, we're gonna play this first, and that's what we're ending on, and that's what we're gonna do.
That's cool.
I was like, this is amazing. I can't believe they did this.
I know somebody who saw them and she said they were so vulgar.
I'm sure.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
It's not what it's
I mean, she doesn't really curse a lot, so I was like,
It's
they
not a
probably
kid
weren't
show.
that bad, but she
Um,
was like, it was so bad.
It's not a cupcake.
They
show.
like throw beer in cups out to the audience and stuff for people to drink and stuff. I don't know if they fully do that anymore.
No.
I think Brian said they don't do that anymore because something happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're put on a crazy thing like it.
They're rock stars.
Yeah.
I mean, he broke when I seen him the first time, Chad. He broke out into Friends in Low Places and was actually very good at it. I didn't expect him to be as good as Garth in Friends in Low Places.
Wasn't he married to Avril Lavigne?
Yes, he was
for a while.
for a very short time. But yeah,
now she's back.
Yeah.
Travis Barker.
There's a
signed her.
conspiracy
She's
about
back
that
for
too. That
Pop
it's not
Punk
the
Roots.
same. It's
that
not the
she's-
same Avril either.
She looks exactly the same as she did 15 years ago.
That's the conspiracy, Heidi.
So while we're on the topic of Nickelback and Chad, I heard this joke on TikTok the
Oh,
other
God.
day.
There we go.
And it's like a 2-3 minute joke. I'm not going to tell it to you now. But I'm just going to give you like the synopsis of this or the cliff notes or whatever you want to
You
call
can
it.
send it to me. Send it to me if you can find it.
If I
again.
can find
Yeah.
it, yes. But there's this guy, and I think if I'm not mistaken, he's talking to himself. It's like one of those ones where he shoots himself in one spot and then the other person's still him.
Yeah.
But it's funny because he's online and he's like, did you know that Chad from Nickelback does nativity scenes for like 30 years? Like he does it every year, and then just like one day he just stopped. Like he did all these roles. Like he was Joseph.
He was a sheep at one point.
Yeah, he was a sheep at one point. And
I
like,
think even Mary. At one
yeah,
point,
and they were like,
which
that was a bit
questionable.
controversial because he was Mary for the one thing. And they go on and like list all this stuff about like the nativity scene,
Yeah.
right? And Chad being a part of it. And he's like, and then 1 year or after like 30 years, he just gave up. And he's like, and they're like, why? And he's like, he never became a wise man. And I was like, you've got to be shitting me.
I listened to that whole joke
Yeah,
for this.
but I appreciated it. I was like, that was such a long build. I
Yeah.
really thought and was invested. And I was like, why did he quit after 30 years? Like, I just like, and then I was like, really? This is where we're at?
Yeah.
I'm like, but it was still fun. But
That's good.
Yeah.
Any more you want to say on them?
Let's see. Recently, probably within the last year, they did have a cover song get into Rock Band, which a lot of people. It was like a mixed review cover of "The Devil Went Down to Georgia," which
oh yeah,
I thought it was really good. Like
it.
because like I want to say like for being like the hard rock or like metal type stuff, it was interesting to see how he would take on
Mhm.
the role for that. And then I noticed like other bands were putting it out like a little bit after they did. And I was like, did they start a trend of doing "The Devil Went Down to Georgia" like thing? So I don't know.
There was a big trend for a while that any kind of hard rock or metal bands were covering other songs, and especially older songs. Like
Sound of Silence. was
Sound of
one.
Silence. Seether's "Careless Whisper" was very good.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That was very good. What else? Nonpoint started, I think, with "In the Air Tonight." I think they started it. That really started because that really one popped off when that came out. I love that. I put it on repeat and I still listen to that one. And then they done Nonpoint recently done "When Doves Cry." Prince's "When Doves Cry" was very good also.
Oh,
Didn't Weezer just do a whole album cover?
They did. It
Mm,
was
that
called
was the-
Aqua?
The
that
Teal album.
or
I
Teal
believe.
album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it.
I liked it.
And that was the one with Toto's Africa on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Funny thing with that, for the music video, they had Weird Al come in
Oh god.
to play like the accordion, like as if it's the piano
Yeah.
instead. So I thought that was actually pretty neat that they brought him in for that.
Yeah. I love all the covers like that. Like I just
Yeah.
recently made a big list of all the covers.
I liked some of them. I like to hear them to see it, but
Yeah.
I don't always like when they change like the tempo of it or they like I don't know. I don't know why.
See, I
Gets me.
like
Some are
when they
questionable.
like
Yeah.
make it a
some are
bit
not that bad.
harder.
Yes.
But the minute they start like heavily screaming in it, where
Yeah.
the song has turned into a scream, not
Yeah, I
to
don't
say
like
that it
that.
can't be in it,
Mm-hmm.
but when it
whole thing.
overpowers
Right.
the song, then I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
into
I
the
don't like
one-
as much heavy
Yeah.
music though.
Oh.
So
The one I could say that is good for that, Hailstorm had 2 EP albums, I think, that were all covers. I don't know if you're familiar with Lizzie Hale and Hailstorm.
Yeah.
So she done "Slave to the Grind," which is a Skid Row song.
Okay.
Excellent. But she screams a lot in it. But it was an excellent cover. And she also done Daft Punk's "Get Lucky," which
Oh,
was
okay.
really good. So those are some good cover albums to check out if you
Interesting.
never do.
Well, it's funny that you bring up Hailstorm because I don't know why. Anytime I hear that name, I distinctly remember where it was in FYE.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I put the CDs out, like I could literally like right
Yeah.
now walk to that spot. Like if it was still,
Yeah, in your
like,
mind,
who's
you
in
can
front
still
of
do
it?
yeah. I don't know who's in front of it, but like they were right at the end, like in that last section, right
Mhm.
before like the backboard came up and stuff. That's just how I remember things.
Is that
Where was
weird?
it at FYE?
like songs, like I'll hear like Shawn Mendes Stitches and I'm like FYE.
Yeah, just triggered.
And like what's her name? Hey, Halsey.
Mhm.
That Colors one.
Oh, I used to like that song. Did you not
Play
like
on
that?
repeat.
On
They just-
repeat.
yeah, because it was like in the store, so they just
I
play
see.
it on
So
repeat.
I have those CDs, like the ones that they would
Why?
send us because we were cleaning out the stuff,
Nostalgia.
and we were gonna throw them out. I was like, "You're not throwing them out. I want them."
No.
Like they have the FYE label on them,
Yeah.
and they're like January 20 or 15 or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah.
But I have a ton of them. So if
Wow.
we ever want to like throw back, and be like,
Let's have a
these are the
throwback
songs.
party.
I don't even have
FYE
CD
style.
party. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't even have a CD player in my car anymore.
I don't
I
either.
don't think
No.
I don't think I do.
We
No,
can
we drive.
digitize them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we drive the same car.
Yeah.
so- yeah. Yeah. My second would be a person named Hosier. I don't know
Oh,
if anybody knows
yes.
him.
Hosier. Yeah, I've heard
Take
of
Me
him,
to
yeah.
Church.
Yeah.
That's
was
the
his
only
big
song
part.
I know.
Yeah,
That's the only one
that
I've heard
was
of.
very big. It was
That's
his
a good one.
first single, and it really popped off. But that's what got me hooked on him. He has a very lovely, haunting voice. He's an Irish singer as
Okay.
well, singer songwriter. He does a lot of the Irish shanty songs really good too. But that's a side note. Other songs that he does besides Take Me to Church. Take Me to Church isn't actually my favorite from him. When I started to dig in, there's Arsonist Lullaby that's very good. It Will Come Back is probably my favorite one, and that song's talking about like seducing somebody and saying like, if you keep kind of, baiting me in here, I'm going to keep coming for you, type thing. It's very haunting. Arsonist Lullaby was on The Walking Dead. It was the ending credit songs for a Walking Dead episode.
Okay.
Yeah. He's very folky, soul like sounding, very bluesy too. So
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's very deep voice, very haunting. I love it. I love his voice.
I've only heard that song. I listen to I have Spotify, but I listen to the radio a lot to get like new stuff,
Mhm.
and I haven't heard
He had
anything
I
else.
don't know if Jackie and Wilson was on the radio a little bit. It might have been. Yeah. So he does lots of collaborations too with dance techno people like Medusa. I think him and Medusa have one now, and I can't remember what it's called.
She's
It's
still
really good.
alive?
No, it's a techno or it's a DJ basically. So yeah, I would say Hosier. So Hosier is like my second favorite.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Everett was in the chat. He loves Stone Temple Pilots.
Oh, yep. STP.
He wrote
forever.
STP, and I was like, what is that?
STP,
And then it
yeah.
took me a second.
I was so lucky I got to see them before Scott passed. I got to see them. They were the main event the main band playing at a concert called Rock Allegiance in Hershey. It was the very first one.
Okay.
It was held in Hershey, and they were the main event, and they were excellent. I mean, you could tell his voice was kind of blown, and then he had some where he actually sang, and then some that were a soundtrack, but it didn't matter to me. I was so happy to actually see him, and then like a year or two later, he died or passed on, so...
That sucks.
Yeah.
But it's cool that you got to see him.
I did.
Yeah.
I get to see him, somebody I liked listening to since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So.
That is cool. Okay, so my next one is Cardi B, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. I just love her. I think she's hilarious. She cracks me up. And like all the songs I listen
Catchy.
to, I love.
Yeah.
She's very catchy. Yeah. I think she's funny.
So
that's it.
Oh, okay.
I
So
don't have any stories.
third on my list, I mean, I don't necessarily think these are in any order either.
Yeah, mine are not in order.
Is My Chemical Romance.
Oh, yeah.
Which
That's a great one.
what was I gonna say about them? So I have this thing where I collect all of the Black Parade shirts.
Yeah.
But specifically the ones that have the skeleton character on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Did you ever get the outfits they had at Hot Topic, like when it first came out?
No.
Oh, I had the girl, the majorette one, which was
That would have been awesome.
It was the corset and then the skirt. It was like the majorette look, because I was a majorette in high school.
Yeah.
So when I saw that, I was like, oh, I gotta get that.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Well,
I don't have it anymore.
if I ever see them or they remake them,
Yeah.
I will definitely.
They
be
did
buying
have
it.
the men's band jacket.
Yeah,
marching
that's what
band
I want.
jacket.
Yeah,
It was awesome.
It's a really cool design. And I have his pop where he's dressed like that.
Yeah.
As well. But he was like, I know this is gonna be very dated when I say this. But he was like, when My Chemical Romance was, a lot of the times that I saw their music was on MTV, and I saw the music videos and stuff. And that's kind of what drew. Where like I feel like, I mean, yeah, there's probably like YouTube and stuff that still has the music videos and all that kind of stuff. But it was nice to see like the top 10 or whatever it was that week.
I miss videos.
Yeah.
I like to just
Yeah.
go watch videos sometimes.
And
'cause
like,
it's just so good.
I don't know, they put so much work into them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I know this is not my.
They get lost on YouTube now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what
Like,
does MTV actually show anymore? What?
Mm,
Jersey
reality
Shore
shows.
Vacation
Yeah.
for
It's
the
all like reality
stuff like
shows.
that.
now.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah.
It's like when
Like
a music
My
video
Sweet
goes
16, like 10 years or something.
Yeah. What was it? What's the baby mama one? 16
Oh,
and
that's the
pregnant.
one. Yeah, that one.
Teen Mom.
Teen
like,
Mom.
Like
Yeah.
we
Just
just
cancel
saw
that
like
show.
something
Yeah.
about that the other
Yeah.
day.
and
just
like
cancel that all.
I know
all
this
of it.
is not My Chemical Romance, but it's just in the topic of music videos.
Mhm.
It was a Backstreet Boys that did where their bus broke down and they went into this like old dusty mansion and they all turned into monsters.
Yeah.
I just thought that
Everybody.
was so
Everybody,
well
yeah.
done.
So good.
That people would miss out on
Yeah.
that. kind of
Backstreet
thing,
Boys
like,
Quit Playing Games was the very first video I ever saw on MTV.
that's awesome. That
They're-
you remembered
I
that
remember.
specifically.
They're one of my
I can remember
favorite.
one specifically, and I was little when I used to watch videos because I used to like watching Michael Jackson and stuff. But the very first one I can remember was "Estranged" by Guns N' Roses, where he's swimming with the dolphins. That's the one I can remember the most.
Yeah.
So, but I used to like watching Michael Jackson and trying to learn the dance moves they were doing to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pop-up video.
Pop-up video was awesome.
But they definitely need to bring back some form of
Videos.
like,
Yeah.
not necessarily just videos, but like
Yeah,
a specific place that it's just
yeah.
music videos.
Yeah, because
again.
you go on
Mhm.
YouTube and it's just like
Right. I don't want to have to look up a band and be like,
No,
what
have
music video
ads in the middle or
is this?
something
Right.
weird.
Like
yeah.
that was what was so great about like the MTV or VH1 when they did it and
Mhm.
stuff, because like I didn't necessarily have to like all of them, but I was introduced to a
To
lot of
somebody else,
things
right.
because of these other people.
Yeah.
right.
But
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that's why I keep my Sirius XM, because if I listen to All Nation, I'll learn about bands like the band Camino or somebody that I actually really like,
mhm.
and then I'll kind of indulge in them a little bit more. I'll go look them up. But if I didn't have that radio, I probably wouldn't have ever heard the band Camino and One Last Cigarette or Daphne Blue.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So what about you, Anthony?
Anthony.
Before I get to mine, I will say with the whole music video thing, like when they put music video out there, like bands get like just shut down immediately. They don't get a lot of views on them. It's like they work their butts off on this and
Yeah.
they don't get anything for it. They could be like a top charting song or something on like any of the charts and it won't get anything. And it'll be like, oh, the person who wrote a simple chorus will get on there
Or
and
they
they'll get
didn't
like,
write it themselves. Yeah.
they'll get 1 billion views. It's like, why? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
They didn't put their soul into it.
Yeah.
No,
That's
that's
the
the same
world
thing
we
with
live
TikTok.
in.
I think like the most random people go viral for doing the stupidest things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Like-
that's truly the I don't know how to change that in any way by saying
No.
this, but so I worked with the people who did Brave the Dark in Lancaster, and the make film
Mhm.
people. They put out videos on, I think it was the Reels on Instagram. They maybe got like 100 views
Mhm.
on them, and it's all like this really impressive behind the scenes
Mhm.
videos and stuff that like they obviously put a lot of work into to like one film and like piece together and all this kind of stuff, and it's wonderful videos. And then I put a video out dressed as Buddy the Elf in a onesie and get thousands of views,
Yeah.
and it makes no sense.
I feel like
Nope.
people just want to laugh at somebody.
Right.
Like, and like, 'cause
Maybe.
half the videos
Well,
that
not
we
even-
see that get all these likes, they're not even, it's somebody being made fun of or something.
Right.
Yeah, not even that. I know the one guy that went viral. He would smash watermelons. He was like a Gallagher, but he would
Right.
do it with rubber bands. And it's like
Oh,
people
yeah.
were actually paying to watch, like they were monetizing him. I'm like, why?
But
This
that's the
is
kind of thing,
dumb.
like, it's not something that takes a lot of mindset or effort. It's the things that are in that moment, once and done, let's replicate it
Right.
kind of deal. Like, even some of the videos, too, like, while we're on the subject, like, I've noticed a lot of people that, at least on a particular page anyway, that, like, have you ever seen the videos where, like, they open up, they're, like, behind in the cooler, and people open up the door and they spray them with a squirt gun
Yeah.
and stuff?
Mhm.
I didn't realize, like, I went through those people's pages. They repost the same video over and over
Over and
again.
over.
And it's not that they're making new stuff. Like, they'll do, oh, here's this solo person that I messed with, and then they do a compilation of it, and then they bring it back as a solo thing, and it's just over and over. I'm like, why? Why do you have,
Yeah.
1 million followers
Right.
for the same, like, 10 videos
Right.
when it boils down?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mhm.
It just doesn't make
That
sense.
algorithm too must have changed, because I used to get a good like maybe 300 to 500 not followers, but views on some of my crystal recommendation videos, and all of a sudden, like, I might get 100 now.
Yeah.
That's it. And
It's
then
weird.
what is happening here? Like,
Yeah.
but yet I see another girl just duetting something stupid, and she's like in her jammies and just watching it with a straight face, and she's got 1 million. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah. I don't understand.
And then there's like the accounts that like they literally post TV episode parts or movie parts.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, sure, I'll watch it for a second, but that just ruins the purpose of like TikTok of what it's for.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be creating content, not taking
Yeah.
a licensed
yeah.
content. Now, if you're like doing like a mimic thing, like
Mhm.
looking at, but like if you're literally just posting the episode, your account
Yeah.
should be taken down.
Yeah.
Like there's no point in that.
Yeah.
Like
Like-
they'll get like 1 million followers, and it's like you basically posted their whole show for free to watch, but in like 3-minute segments.
So getting back slightly to like the music video sides,
Yeah.
TikTok would be the perfect platform because it's all lip sync stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Go make an impressive music video, but lip synced.
Mhm.
And I think that would do super well.
Yeah, because you have up to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I've seen people on there, and it's like at least with like The Greatest Showman, because it's like the music side of things,
Mhm.
they'll recreate the entire scene and do it where the scene is on the bottom, so you can watch it, and then you see them up top
Mhm.
doing the entire thing side by side, which I think's cool. So maybe
Yeah.
something like that to bring about more music video side
Yeah.
of things
Yeah.
for these different bands or whatever. Maybe that'll help. But who knows?
Okay, so the third pick that I have is Panic at the Disco.
Oh, they're good.
It's a good band.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Which for them, like it was a group at first, and then like as the years went on, it was down to the drummer and Brennan Urie.
Oh.
And now it's just Brennan Urie, but he has like people that do the tours and stuff with him. Like they're not saying they're members of Panic at the Disco, the tour people, but
Yeah.
I would say they are.
Isn't that how the Foo Fighters were? Like it was just David Grohl, right?
Uh,
Dave
And then
Grohl,
it,
Dave
and then
Grohl
it
was
had the
Mm.
drummer.
yeah. Dave Grohl was the drummer for
Nirvana.
Nirvana.
Yeah, but
And then-
but when he did Foo Fighters, it was just him, I think,
Oh,
at
I
first,
didn't know
right?
that.
may have been.
Yeah, and then the drummer came in, and then are the other two permanent members or just like fill-ins?
I think 4 per numbers. For the first year, it was only for the first album. It was Dave did it every part himself, and
Yeah.
then they got Taylor, and then they got the bass player, and then they added the guitar player
Mhm.
a couple years later.
Yeah, I thought it was like that.
Hmm.
That's I don't know.
Well, that
That's
was
interesting.
also that band is also one when I Write the Sins, Not the Tragedies comes on. You
Mhm.
always sing it. Like I always
Yeah.
sing it. I always turn it up, and I'm always singing.
Yep.
Imagine, you know.
And it's
Yeah.
nice to see that, like, at least in this case,
Mhm.
that as the band of Panic at the Disco,
Mhm.
that they're not a one-trick pony,
Yeah.
essentially.
Mhm.
Like, I like that they're more the theatrical side
Yeah.
of things.
Mhm.
Like, Brandon Urie was on Broadway in Kinky
Oh.
Boots. Like, he was the
Mhm.
lead in
That's
it for a period of time and stuff. So it's cool to see that, like, some of these bands and stuff are willing to step away from the band and kind of do these
Do
other
something
things.
else, yeah.
But still,
It's cool
you
to
know,
see some of them be around. Like, I guess there's a lot that are like around for so long, but there's some that like this were like in middle school and now they're still
Still
Yeah.
there.
out.
Mhm.
Like that's
See,
cool.
for me, that would have been the Killers. The Killers
Mm.
came out
Killers
when I was
are
in
great.
high school,
Yeah.
and they're still making bangers. I think they're even better than they were back in high school. They're
Haven't heard
better
anything
today. Caution is very good. It's off
Mhm.
their the newest album. My Own Soul's Warning. There's another one now. I can't remember the
Yeah.
title
I
of
think
it.
The
And
Man was pretty good.
The Man was good. That was a couple years ago.
I think
I had one of the albums, the second one, I think. Yeah.
they had a Christmas song that a lot of people were confused on what it
Mhm.
was because it was called Joel the Lump of Coal.
I didn't hear that one.
They had Jimmy Kimmel be Santa Claus in it.
oh, that's funny.
It's like it's like just like a funny like silly comedy song
Yeah.
that they
Yeah.
wanted to do for Christmas type thing, and I think they nailed it. That should be like one of the Christmas songs that they play year round.
When You Were Young. That was my
Mhm.
one of my favorites from that one.
if I heard
And
that one.
Spaceman.
Yeah,
It
Spaceman
sounds
was
familiar.
good.
Maybe I did hear that one. I don't know.
Yeah.
When You Were Young, the first time I actually heard that was from Rock Band because it was a part
Yeah.
of the Key soundtrack.
Yeah.
There's a lot of songs that I've only heard in Rock Band.
Yeah.
And
It
has
I'm
such
like,
a good
and then I hear it
chord.
somewhere else. And I'm like,
I don't know if it's a
It's
good
Rock Band.
it's a guitar
I know that
chord
song.
or whatever that like I can't do it
I
either.
think it's a guitar chord. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that one a lot. But that's another one of those bands that just got better in time. Oh, Quiet Town is the new one.
I heard that one.
Yeah, and then if you're looking for the new stuff, Caution is good. Caution's a little overplayed. My Own Soul's Warning was, I think, the best one out of this whole new Kit and Caboodle or album they dropped now. So,
Okay, you're
oh,
up.
yeah, I'm gonna talk about the Killers, and they're not really one of my picks. Foster the People are
Okay.
one of my favorites.
I only know
especially-
that one song.
Pumped Up Kicks.
Yeah.
I mean, Pumped Up Kicks, such a catchy song about a mall shooter. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
exactly what it is.
Is it mall or school?
No, it was mall.
Oh, okay.
It was mall.
It's crazy. Like, you hear that song and it's like you're saying, it's so upbeat, and then half the time people don't realize what
realize
it's
that.
about,
Yeah, they don't realize the
and they're
lyrics.
like,
All
just
the- what-
listen to
yeah,
it.
the
and-
Like,
Pumped
I
Up
feel like it
Kicks
just
better run
recently
faster than
came
my
out.
bullet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
recently there was like video, and they're like I just realized this. That's what this is about.
Yeah.
Mall shooting. That's
It's real
what it's about.
depressing.
Yeah, it's depressing, but man, it's got that catchy beat
It
that we're all singing about a mall shooting.
Yeah.
I know it depresses me that like when I figured it out, I was like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of like change it because it makes me like sounds like I don't want to
that's
sing to this. And it makes me
Yeah.
like depressed.
That's not one I don't care for that song as much as I cared for like Helena Beat. Some of their other songs they don't play as much.
Yeah, I
Like
don't
it's
know the
not
other ones.
they're some of their underground stuff. Helena Beat is good. Do It for the Money's excellent. Worst Nights is great. I can round them all off, but they're all alternative. They'd be on the alternative channel. So
Yeah. See, I guess I don't really listen. I guess I'm more like
Yeah,
pop,
pop.
and
see they bounce
Rap
in
and
and out of
hip hop
pop once in a
Mm.
while.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
So-
that one was a little. That's probably how I heard it, but it's like
So and they make
Mainstream
lots
radio.
of catchy. It's very catchy tempos and stuff for me. That's why I picked them.
That's a good pick. It's really hard for me to pick favorites, and I can't put them in like a number order.
No, I
'Cause
can't.
it depends on
either.
like my mood, or,
Right.
like who's out right now.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say Megan Thee Stallion because I'm really into her, but then I was thinking about it, and Ariana Grande is like really good. Like she had like 5 hit songs or something at one point. Like they were all on the top of the charts. Like
That's
she's
crazy.
so good, and she's super talented. And I watched this video of her. I went down like a YouTube rabbit hole one day, and she was doing like I don't know like the technical terms. Like she was doing the tracks for it, and like she would sing a part, and then she'd be like, "Okay, go back, repeat this." Like it wasn't just like all computers. Like they're putting everything in.
Right.
Like she was literally doing all of those little like
Yeah.
whatever,
Yeah.
and then she would do it again and do it again and just keep doing it until it was like perfect and like put it in the whole song. And I think that's so cool. Like you don't see that.
Right.
Like most of it's just like they sing it once and then they just do everything else on the board. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I just think she's really good, and she's funny, and she does really good impressions of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like her Celine Dion impression is really good. But I don't know, most of her songs are catchy. Like every one I've heard I like.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I can agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
She's really
she's good.
talented.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's weird seeing her because I knew her more from like
The show.
Nickelodeon
Yeah.
shows,
Mhm.
and then getting
She was
to
on
see her-
Nickelodeon?
She was.
Yep.
She was on like Zoe 101.
Oh, was she?
Victorious.
Victorious.
Or Victorious
yeah.
it was.
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
on Victorious.
I watched
wow.
Zoe
and
101 a
then
little
missed
bit.
that.
Cat
He was younger.
and
Sam and Cat.
Sam and Cat. Yeah. So she like hopped around Nickelodeon for a bit and stuff, which was exciting.
I heard they like ruined her hair,
Oh.
dyeing it, whichever one where her hair is like a red color.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think in Victorious they started her with like
Yeah.
the really bright red
Yeah.
hair.
That's what I read. I don't know if it's true. That's why I read why she
Well,
always has that like
she's naturally dark hair
ponytail.
like that. They're gonna have to
bleach it.
bleach it,
Yeah.
really bleach it to get that to stick. And then I know because I had red hair.
Yep.
Then you constantly go back like every 4 weeks
Yeah.
to try and
Ugh.
keep it.
because
in.
it was something,
And
I
it's
don't
not
know.
it wasn't really about the roots as much as the ends and stuff.
Yeah.
I would
Yeah.
have to
You
get
get
2
fried.
Yeah, it was rinses they'd put
Mm.
through to keep that red in, and it would just wash away. It was terrible. Even it was supposed to be permanent, but
It's not.
Yeah.
it's not. And then when you let it go, it just fades to an ugly cake. It's terrible. Like I often think about doing it again, and I'm like, nope, don't want to go through that.
Not
again.
worth it.
'Cause I couldn't strip. I didn't want to strip my hair, so I ended up toning it out with they made me brunette for about a month, which I hate it. And then I went back to blonde. But the first time I went back to blonde, I was like a little fried.
Yeah.
So now I'm definitely out of that.
Yeah, I read that somewhere because everybody
It's
was
a pain in
talking
the
about her
ass.
hair, like her
Yeah.
fake ponytail, and she never has her hair like normal because it's like ruined.
hmm
I don't know if it's true, but
It'd be interesting. Like
Yeah.
if that came out, it like legitimately came out and was like, "This is it."
yeah, this is my
Mm.
hair.
Yeah. But I mean, with technology and stuff today, I mean, it'd be kind of easy to hide it. and
Yeah.
Things like that.
Oh yeah,
I mean, I don't know much about hair product in that sense.
lots
But-
of fake hair.
Yeah, I'm sure there are things that can be like, oh no, this is not real, but
Yeah.
it's real enough that no one's gonna really know. So we're gonna go around and do 2 more, or
It's up to you. What kind of time are we looking at?
We're at an hour and a half.
Mm.
I think I'm
We can
like.
do some short ones if you want to.
sure.
Any other like honorable mentions?
Yeah.
Let's say.
So we
Anyone
want to do
else?
like one honorable mention around.
I guess.
Yeah.
I have to think about somebody.
I think of a couple
ahead,
and just
go ahead,
and we go
yeah.
around once and then
Sure.
give a
One more.
couple.
All right. So honorable mention for me would be Simple Plan. I've been listening
Okay.
to
Oh,
them
that's
a
a
great one.
lot lately. I heard they were gonna go on tour and then they backed out, which sucks because I would have loved to have seen them. I did get to see them at Warped Tour. It was the only Warped Tour I ever went to, and they put on a good show. So it feels weird because it just recently started in the past couple of months, like being more popular for me. But I don't know. It's been fun listening to them again.
One of my honorable mentions would have to be Shinedown.
Oh yeah, good.
They actually made a song for the pandemic. Like it wasn't originally supposed to be for the pandemic because they were going. I think it was like the bass player or the singer was going through hard times, and they wrote it, and it was going to be a part of their like 2012 album that they came out with. And they're like, no, we're gonna keep this aside for a while. We don't know when we're gonna release it. And after a little bit of the pandemic went on, they went to release it, and actually it was a chart-topping song for them.
Wow, they held on to it for a while.
Yeah, they did. they held on to it for like 8 years.
Yeah. That's pretty cool though.
And it was about the pandemic or about a pandemic.
Well, it was more like not giving up hope type thing,
yeah.
like in building yourself up type thing. So I thought that was actually a perfect way for like them to
when
talk
they
about the pandemic.
I like them too. I will say that I've seen them twice in concert. They're very good. What I will say though, their first album, Leave a Whisper, was the best.
Okay.
It had the Simple Man cover on it. It had
45.
45 on it, but there was the first track. I can't think of it now for the life of me. That was my favorite off that whole album. But that was an album that you could have listened through all the way through, like you didn't skip any songs.
Yeah.
For me at least. Leave a Whisper was awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
For me, I'm gonna dump a few. Florence and the Machine. I love Florence and the Machine. I've seen her on Austin City Limits, though. I have to say, I don't know if I'd see her in person because it gets a little wonky. But I love her songs. Like if I'm just listening on Spotify or something, I can put her on. I love her songs like "Ship to Wreck" and "Queen of Peace." She's very. I think she
Bulletproof. Is that her? Bulletproof?
No,
Or is that
that's La Rocks or something. Like I don't know how to say her name, but it's like
La Rocks. yeah.
Oh, I thought you said
ROX.
Bell Rock. I was like,
no,
No, ROX.
That's
That
rapper.
That'd be
Yeah.
interesting.
I've
though.
heard of one
Yeah.
of her songs. I just don't know which one.
Dog Days Are Over. You've
That
heard
one.
it. Yeah.
That's the
Dog
one.
Days Are Over. That's
Mhm.
one. She done a cover of You've Got the Love, which I love that song. And that's like a song for me, like when I feel down. Like I listen to that and I feel better. So Florence and the Machine, definitely. Bring Me the Horizon is another band I absolutely adore. They're not the latest album, but the album before Ammo. I loved it. Another one I could listen all the way through. They have one of the best songs. This is going to sound weird, but like when I try to explain my depression to somebody, there's a song called Avalanche, and that's what explains it to me. Like for other people, I love that song Avalanche. I love Follow You, about being like obsessed in love with somebody. And then that was on the same album as Throne and Happy Song. And then the next album he ends up getting, he wrote that song for his wife, the one that was about obsession and love, Follow You it's called. And then on Ammo, he got divorced from her, and he ended up like writing like a 2-minute, or not even a 2-minute little song, like just like spoofing that one, saying how much of an idiot he was for liking her. So I would definitely have to say Bring Me the Horizon.
I've never heard of them.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or
They're
rock
like
band.
most of them.
Yeah,
I've
they're
never heard
I
of.
don't know if you classify them as metal, but they're like
screamo metal, like
yeah,
hard rock type.
Yeah, some of their older stuff was very
Yeah, that was very
like,
screamo.
Go to Hell for Heaven's Sake. That was a good one. I can't think of any of their older ones, but yeah, I loved everything from whatever the Umbrella album was. I can think of the art. It had like a little black and white umbrella on it.
I think that's the one I know the most, but I don't remember the name.
That's
of it.
the one that
Because it
has
had like Drown,
Drowned. Yeah.
Happy Song.
Happy Song, Throne.
Yeah, Throne.
What was the one with wolves? Something with Throw Me to the Wolves and I'll come back, the leader of the pack or something.
That one I don't remember.
Can't think of it, but it's a very good album along with Ammo. And Ammo is, people gave them a lot of shit for it because they went more or less, they had some like screamo metal on it, and then they had more like Nihilist Blues is very like techno / European. I don't know if you want to say European techno type thing, but it's very electronica. I guess that would be a better way of describing it.
Yeah.
What was some of the other ones? Some of them were real lovey-dovey too, like Ammo. The song Ammo itself was lovey-dovey. Oh, Mantra. I forgot about Mantra. Mantra is like one of my favorite songs because it's talking about people who get into spirituality and like totally overdo it, or like people who are like fake selling spirituality, basically. That song was written from, they watched that Netflix show called Wild Wild Country. Did anybody see that? It's a documentary about this what would you say, this guru guy from India that came over and bought land and started like his own little hippie commune, and how he like kind of brainwashed people.
Like a cult.
Yeah, like a cult. It was like a mini cult, and they got into a fight with the people who also own the adjacent land and stuff, and they eventually left. And he actually went on to be the guru guy went on to be like one of the biggest spiritual leaders there was. Osho, his name was the Osho. But in that cult there, he had some ladies around him that kind of made it cultish, was bad influence basically. So they had seen that documentary and wrote Mantra because of that.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, A7X I've seen like 7 times.
Avenged Sevenfold.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I was like, I don't know.
Yeah. A7X, I call him A7X. Avenged Sevenfold I've seen multiple times in concert.
I share a birthday with the singer, actually.
Oh, do you? With
Yeah.
them Shadows.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I saw them multiple times. Excellent concert, excellent stage show. That's all I can really say about them. And I mean, I'll always take an Avenged Sevenfold ticket if I can, because I know they're gonna put on a hell of a show. I saw them once with the Rev before he passed, and I saw them like 4 or 5 times without the Rev now. So yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay. I guess for
Sorry.
me. No, it's okay. I don't know. It's so hard because I don't always I don't always love like a singer or band. Like I like random songs.
Yeah.
But I guess I'm gonna say Backstreet Boys because it's like nostalgic.
Yeah.
It's like my childhood, like
Yeah.
my teenage years, like those was in love with them, and then I finally got to see them in
Yeah.
concert. But that's my like honorary
Yeah.
mention or whatever.
Awesome.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess because like there was the first video I saw, like there's the first group I got into when I was younger,
Mm.
and I just loved them.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Okay. Does anybody else have anything they want to talk about, or anything that
Nope.
we remembered throughout anything
I don't think
that we
so.
want to bring back up or anything?
Well, speaking of the Backstreet Boys, since you brought it up,
Yeah.
there's a kind of like a cover band type thing on YouTube. They do like a bunch of like spoofs for different songs, and they did it for I Want It That Way, and it's a horror spoof where they had Freddy Krueger, Jason, Leatherface,
Oh, I
Michael
saw
Myers,
that.
and Ghostface.
Yeah, I did see that. That was good.
And
That was
they
the cool
constantly
video.
keep making videos.
Yeah.
Like one is like Leatherface doing Friends in Low Places, but
Yeah.
it's like they are very creative people.
I didn't know
Love
they
it.
did other ones. I don't think that was the only one I saw.
Mhm.
That was cool. I like that. So we want to say our next episode, we're going to talk about Betty White.
Yes.
And she's going to be our
Mhm.
topic. I guess we probably should have mentioned her.
For the news.
Yeah.
But I mean,
It's very sad.
yeah.
If you didn't know already,
Yeah.
I think everybody should know that.
That one
Betty
hit
White
me real
passed.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Real sad.
It sucks too because she was right there.
She was
at
right
the
there.
cusp
She's
of
so
100.
healthy. And everyone's
Yeah.
like, but she's 99. I was like, but she literally just did an interview.
Yeah.
Well,
Perfect health.
they're trying to say, that she got the COVID booster 3 days
Yeah,
beforehand.
I've heard
Get
that
the hell
too.
out of here.
And then
Oh,
now
she's
what
99.
Well, on I'm not sure who. I think it was Hollywood Reporter. I think posted saying like that she like died in her sleep or something. But I don't think
yeah.
it was anything to do with the booster shot or anything.
Mm-mm.
But
She probably
I'm not gonna say that it wasn't or if it was.
I'm
But
sure the wrong gust of wind probably could have killed her at 99. I'm just
They said I seen that
Too
she
soon.
died of natural causes. Most of
See,
the
I
Yeah.
didn't
videos
even
I've seen.
see that. I just saw like she died before
Yeah.
9:30 in the morning.
And if she died
New
in her
Year's Eve or
sleep, good
something.
for her. What a great way
Yeah.
to go.
Yeah.
Like seriously.
I
You're
didn't
not
believe it at
paying.
first because the like TMZ I saw reported. I was like, okay, I'm not believing this until I see like
Yeah.
an actual news
Variety or
source
somebody
like
say it.
that's
yeah.
actually going to be truthful about this.
we were talking about like what if it was all just a ruse?
Yeah, that's what
And
I
then
was
like
saying.
New Year strikes, and then it's like, what if
Still,
she's back?
yeah.
But it unfortunately
gone.
It's
she
true.
is Yeah, it is
Yeah.
true, and she has passed. So instead of because I think they're still going on with the celebration
I heard
for
that
her
they are.
birthday,
Yeah.
which I think is great. Instead of
Yeah,
canceling
that's
that,
what
we
she
get
would
to
want.
remember her
Right.
and stuff, and it's pretty much going to be the same thing, just
Yeah.
not.
Did she
unfortunately,
donate
not
to
to
her.
a lot to like the SPCA's
I
and
think
stuff?
so.
so,
That
yeah.
There's like a
they're
million
asking
pictures
of
that
her and
everybody
some
were
animals.
to give them $5 or something
Yeah.
to your local SPCA that day to honor Betty White. That would be
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
great thing, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
There's a lot of pictures. Like she's just randomly with animals. all
Animals,
the
yeah.
time.
But partially because of her passing and her birthday,
Yeah.
coming
Mhm.
up, we thought it'd be best to do an honorary
Yeah.
episode for her, and have our next episode be all about Betty White.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
the
it'll be
history
like
of
right
her
before her birthday.
stuff.
though.
Yeah, it'll still be around
Yeah.
the time of her birthday frame of things. But we didn't necessarily want to do it today, and hop on that train,
Yeah.
but we will definitely show our respects and celebrate
Yep.
Betty White's life on Nickel High School. So don't worry about that.
Yes.
But if that is all we have, we are
Thanks. so.
good to go around the table and
Yep. What's our plugs?
do any plugs that we have. So Fright Rags is as always. I have to plug Fright Rags to some
Is
extent.
that what you're wearing?
I am. I
Like it a
I
lot.
don't have any music shirts from them. Because like my brother gets a lot of those ones, like the spoofs
Mhm.
of it and stuff. But this one has on the bottom. I mean, you can't see it. It says "Sweet dreams are made of this." So I was
Oh.
like, that's close enough.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
It's fine. But they are coming out with a bunch of like reprints for a bunch of their shirts. They're gonna have new beanies of the Halloween 3,
Mm.
like the witch, the skull, and the pumpkin. They're all gonna be beanies,
Oh,
like
cool.
the good guy ones and stuff. They're all coming back, and the Jaws. And
That's cool.
they live one is coming back. I know that was a super popular one. They all sold out the first round.
Yeah.
So if that is something that you missed out on and you were super excited for,
Did you miss out on?
get on it. Because I believe it's next Wednesday that
Next
they
Wednesday.
are being released.
They just did a
beanies, yeah.
sale. Like, was it New Year's Day?
Yeah. So
I didn't.
I think it
I
was.
only looked like a
I think it
little
was
bit.
for
I
a couple
didn't
days. It was like a New Year's blowout
Yeah.
kind of thing because they usually do that after they do their big inventory stuff.
so much. Oh, okay.
They have this blowout sale to kind of
Mhm.
like
Get rid of the
get
old
rid
stock.
of a bunch of
Yeah.
I'm
stuff.
excited for the new stuff.
Yeah,
for
I
the
am
year.
too. They did do if you haven't seen it, they did post their like preview for 2022. Like they do a little like basically like they take a bunch of clips from movies and kind of like put like grain over top of it,
Mhm.
kind of like an old VHS that would kind of
Yeah.
like skip. And they show like the different scenes of different things that are coming up throughout the year.
That's cool.
Which
Did you
is
get your
really
Christmas
exciting.
card?
I did not, so I don't know if I got one this year. I don't think so.
Aw.
But that's okay.
You got one.
It
Heidi got
lost.
one.
Yours just probably got lost in the mail.
Maybe it did. If not, it's also not a big deal. Because I did get one last year. So that's fine. But yeah, so that is what I have to plug for
Okay.
today.
Anthony?
So my plug is for the Zobi mystery box for a special reason.
Okay.
Yesterday they had a daily deal for a mystery bundle for Power Rangers.
Oh.
It's one item was an 8x10 signed, and one's a Funko Pop that was signed. I think for like $85.
That's
Mm.
pretty cool.
And it's a part of like their daily special
Okay.
type stuff. So like I think it was when I was at New Jersey HorrorCon, they had a daily special where you literally picked a letter. I think it was from A to J, and they already had some like a person's autograph assigned to each
Oh,
of
wow.
that. But you just picked a letter, and then they would send you whatever letter autograph it
Yeah.
was.
That's cool.
So it's cool that they do like these random like daily things.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're a little bit more forward to what it is. Like in this case, it's the Power Ranger one, but in this one, it was just like completely mystery. You just picked a letter and they sent you an autograph, and they were really cool. Like I got one from the Predator. I got an Entourage one. So it was like all over the place. It wasn't even like it was just from like one specific
Yeah.
thing, which was cool.
They even brought that back actually.
Yeah.
I think it went away just recently, but I think two of the items was a pop figure signed by one of the voices of Jason Todd from the Red Hood, and one was a Coach Klein jersey, which I'm pretty sure is Henry Winkler from the Waterboy.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's cool. I was looking on there after you got your box. I'm really
Yeah.
upset about it. And because I thought you could buy certain pieces,
Mhm.
but I can't find the shirt. I'm really upset about
Check
it.
eBay. I would say you could just have. my
It's not
shirt,
going to
but
fit
it's-
me.
Yeah. Because I really only wanted the director's box for one thing.
Yeah.
Because they put Haunt in it. For those of you who don't know. And something deep down was like, get it. just there
I know,
was
and
just,
I saw it and I totally forgot.
Yeah.
But I think it's not sold out yet, so I might still try to grab it.
I didn't know.
So
I'm
your
pretty sure.
intuition was telling you
Yes.
to
Yeah.
get it.
My intuition, and they had the T-shirt laying on
Mhm.
top, and I lifted up the T-shirt and I saw this white ghost face type.
Do you have
mask.
that mask already?
No. So
Oh.
I have it. I do have the mask,
Okay,
but I've never met Cheney.
Okay.
So Damien Maffei, who I've met a couple times at these different conventions, every time I get something haunt signed from him.
Mhm.
And the first time I met him, he had the devil mask. He told me the story about how like he sent it in and all that kind of stuff. I didn't get it signed by him because I was like, I don't really, do the whole like signed mask thing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I would rather just have
Like a
his
picture.
autograph on the
Mhm.
picture and stuff, or a poster or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But then I got Cheney's mask
So now
signed in the mail. So now I have to track down Damien and be like, listen, I need another autograph. I need a mask signed.
another one.
Yeah. But now I feel like I'm gonna try to get all of the haunt masks
Signed.
signed by their owners
Yeah.
in the movie, which would be pretty cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
And then have the ones that I already have, and I can wear them because I can take them out
Yeah.
off their like little like haunt backer.
Yeah.
So
What were the other? Because you could either get the mask, a knife,
and
what's
a
the other?
hammer.
Or a hammer.
I don't understand why it wasn't just the mask. Because the hammer is just a hammer and the knife's just a hammer. Like, or I mean,
Yeah.
the knife
But he
is not
uses a
just knife.
hammer.
Yeah.
The one.
I
The
mean,
clown
yes,
uses a hammer.
he
so-
does. I'm not saying that it's
Yeah.
not a part of it in any
But
way.
it's not the same as.
But like, I almost wish it would have been a bunch of 8x10s, and the
Yeah.
bonus item for the upgrade was his mask.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just so that it's a little bit more of iconic piece versus it just being a hammer.
Mhm.
Because they've done knives before. Because I think we have two.
Yeah,
We have two different knives.
I don't know. if it
Unless
was
one of
the
them's
movie or
from like
not.
Bam. I
It
don't
might
know.
have been like
Bam.
Bam or something, but they do that with like the Friday the 13th. I think is
I
one
think
that you
that's what I
have.
got. Yeah.
But yeah, I was really happy, seeing that white mask face.
The shirt is really cool.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like everything else in the box for me was like, it's all right. I did get the autograph though from The Mist, which I liked. I just wish it wasn't from The Mist.
Mhm.
It's the guy who plays the Shermanator in American Pie.
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
But it's for The Mist, so
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm torn between it. I'm like,
Yeah.
I love that it's him,
Yeah.
but I'm like, it's not for American Pie.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough about that box.
Sorry,
Anything
we
else?
hijacked it.
Yeah.
No, that's perfectly fine. That was actually it for me.
All right.
Okay. I'm gonna plug Tornado Tag
Oh,
podcast on
Yeah,
Thursday.
That's what I was gonna say.
Well, here you can plug that, and I'll plug Truth Behind the
Yeah,
Illusion
okay.
next Tuesday. We're talking ghost stories, so I'm gonna have some of my family's ghost stories, what my mom has encountered over the years, and what my mother-in-law has encountered, and some of the Ashland Hospital ghost stories.
Awesome.
I'm gonna
That's
say, yeah.
exciting.
So tune in. We're gonna have some ghost story talk.
That's cool. And Thursday, I'm not really sure what you're talking.
I think Jeff Jarrett, right? Jeff Jarrett.
Jeff Jarrett. I feel like I know the name, but I'm not sure.
So Jeff
Slim Jim
Jarrett.
guy, right? Slim
Yeah.
Jim.
No,
Yeah.
no.
No.
So Jeff Jarrett was like his gimmick was a country singer, and
right.
he's been in and out
I've
of
seen him.
wrestling for the past how
Yeah.
many years, and he just kind of reemerged now
Yeah.
and again. So that's why we're doing Jeff Jarrett.
So tune into that on Thursday, and then next Tuesday, it's Truth Behind Illusion.
Truth Behind the Illusion. Yep.
Follow everything
Yeah.
on the
Follow, like,
IWEP
share,
network.
give us all the love.
And if you are listening to us, just as the audio portion, feel free to leave a review of us. We'd love to
Yes.
hear those and get the feedback. And also, if you're watching the video, leave a comment on it. And if there is a review of some kind that you want to give us, or list your favorite bands for this particular episode,
Yeah.
feel free to do that as well. We love reading them, and we would love to comment and talk with you as well about those things. It was a really fun 100th episode.
Mhm.
Thank you guys for watching it with us or listening to it with us. And we will see you guys next time for the episode all about Betty White.
See you later.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.